Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 3, Episode 1, Plaguestone, Sweet Plaguestone. Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's bring back our wonderful cast. We have Eldridge as Khan, the Bloody Rizzolo.
Oh, it's always great to be here.
Shane as Umbromancer Zavid.
Hello, everyone.
And Elliot as Reese the Heartseeker.
Hi, I realized I forgot to put Reese's wig on.
And as always, I'm Lumby Bronzearm and will be your DM for today. Last season, Lux Et Umbra reunited in Druma to attend the coronation of Queen Daniela Arion. The joyful occasion was interrupted by rocks falling from the sky. This ill omen was another sign of the approaching conjunction. Realizing that they were going to need further allies, Lux Et Umbra made their way to the city of Corvosa. With the help of their friends, the Gardeners of Corvosa, long-cold diplomatic relations were rekindled with Queen Cressida Croft. She had her doubts as to the true effects of the conjunction. However, after the gambling boats at Eel's End were nearly destroyed by rampaging water elementals, coupled with unseasonably bountiful harvests, Corvosa's monarch and guardian could no longer sit idly by. Having added an economic powerhouse to their list of friends, Lux Et Umbra set off to the town of Fogton, Dirge's home city. A rousing good time was had by all, especially Demirius, who partook in many a cold one. Having taken in the local hospitality, a trek atop Mount Fogton was their next goal, having been whispered the name Beat Els. An old eccentric dwarf, Beat lived alone atop a snowy, fog-thick mountain, but he had something our heroes required. A powerful and rare alchemical ingredient not easily acquired, the scale of a gold dragon. After much discussion of the upcoming apocalypse, Beat was willing to part with 5. The final reagent in paw, Khan was able to craft the elusive blood echo elixir, allowing Danny to sniff out her siblings. Seeing the dire situation the world had found itself during his long time atop Mount Fogton, Beeteld revealed that he was in actuality Beetelzatrax, an ancient silver dragon. Offering what knowledge he could, Beetelzatrax opened his long-dormant dragon gate, leading to the hold of Belkzen. There, Lux Et Umbra found themselves on the needle-like Firewatch peaks among a tribe of otter people known as the Ottari. While getting their bearings, they were attacked by a massive eagle covered head to toe in surgically attached armor. Something strange was afoot. Descending the mountain, Lux Et Umbra made their way to the orcish city of Wyvernsting, where they finally found Danny's other lost brother, Mythonar Arion. A deal was struck with Chief Hunduk's half-man. Safely return his daughter Toba, and Mythonar goes free. A strange gnomish church had popped up recently within the town, offering free mechanical prosthetics to any who needed them, quite a sought-after service amongst the orc people. Knowing a cult when he smelt one, Zavid began to tug at the thread, and it quickly began to unravel. Following what few leads they had, Lux Et Umbra headed south, meeting Gazkul Demonkiller, an eccentric old orc shepherd. Discussions of forgotten gods, mechanically enhanced animals, and ancient orcish magics were had over mutton. Wanting revenge for the death of his sheep, Gazkul helped Lux Et Umbra infiltrate the cult's secret underground compound deep beneath the Kodar Mountains. No less than an avalanche of sheep was required to make their way inside, but once in, Reese's training kicked in, allowing easy navigation through the winding, narrow hallways. It quickly became apparent that the leader of this cult, Artifex Glastwick Finibus, was bent on releasing Rovagug during the conjunction. With his mechanical monstrosities, the mad gnome attacked with the full force of Cassandalee's divine design, but was laid low by the might that is Lux Et Umbra and their allies. With one more Arion sibling to find, and the conjunction swiftly approaching, can the coming onslaught of the dread Cabal be stopped? And that's where we're coming in today. Sorry for the long intro, just wanted to go over what all we had have happened in the last, 15 sessions, I think, in the previous chapter. So I believe we are coming in with Zavid first. Yes? You said you wanted to visit the observatory while you're here in Druma before you leave?
Yeah, I do.
So I'll share that with you here.
I would like to kick around that little gnome. Just kidding. I would never.
You're almost sounding like the orc, the elf from my D&D campaign, who just really hates dwarfs. And
racist elf.
Yeah, racist elf.
Yeah.
All right, Legolas.
You gotta be careful with that. I played a character that was like, his whole village was killed by orcs or whatever, like orc raids. And then I played him as being like a subtle like racist against orcs. So then we met like these orcish NPCs that were allies, and my guy was a dick to them, and my party was like, "What the fuck is your problem?" I was like, "I'm trying to get over some personal issues, okay?"
Yeah, that's always a little problematic to play as a character.
Yeah, you gotta clear. I have to clear it now going forward if I'm ever gonna do something like that. Like, hey, by the way, has anyone got a problem with this? Because I won't do it if you got a problem.
Yeah, for sure. So you know the way. You've been in Castle Druma many times at this point. All the guards know you. They note to let you pass wherever you want to go. You have full reign of the castle, or full range of the castle, that is. So you enter into the tower where the Druman Observatory is, and you can see in the center is the Elder Sverfniblin, known as Pembroke Wessel, who you know is the chosen of Desna. He's the blind seer, a prophet, so to speak. He receives visions from Desna. Within the center of this room is a small pool of water, in the center of which floats a large pink crystal that you recognize. You were there, correct? When the party saved him? I believe a couple people. I think Danny was not there.
It's just been a while. You might have to remind me.
Yeah.
It's been a long while. So, ages ago, you went to the city of Eladir. Back when Danny was still kidnapped, I believe. She was still kidnapped at the castle, and you were trying to get to her. And you entered into an alchemist shop that there was a blood streak on the ground and a big hole in the floor.
Yeah,
and
I
down
remember
beneath,
that.
You saw a halfling woman who was almost dead, and this crystal. And she was talking about her husband Pembroke, who is this man, this gnome. They were both also at the coronation of Danny, which is why, and you specifically are the one who gave him the idea to bring his seer crystal here to the observatory to combine the efforts of the science with the swarm and the prophetic visions of him.
Oh,
It's actually your idea. I recently watched the whole
season.
I
I'll take credit for that.
I recently watched the whole season at work, and yeah, it was your idea.
Neat. Sabine comes in and goes, "Who are you?" Oh yeah, I remember now. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good morning, Safid. Yes. Oh, come in. It is wonderful to see you. Oh, it has been what a week, I believe, since the coronation of the Queen.
Wow. Yeah, that was recent, wasn't it? Holy crap! It feels like it's been a year, but a lot of things have happened in a short time. Also, were you standing in the water, or was he like on a floating, like a tensor's floating disc type of situation where he like hovers over to the edge?
He is essentially casting water walk. You as a high level cleric, I'm not even going to make you roll for it. He has water walk cast on himself, and he's just walking across it.
That's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
How long does that spell last? Out of curiosity.
Oh, well, as a technically a fey creature, I myself am able to somewhat cast it at will.
So you could walk across the ocean?
As long as I did not fall asleep, I suppose.
Could you cast that on like a vehicle, like a carriage or something like that?
Oh, that seems difficult, but I suppose not out of the realm of possibility.
Now I want to invent a boat that's pulled by two horses that have water walk cast on them.
Oh, that'd be
my
awesome.
God, that's like a seahorse.
Yeah,
like a Kelpie pulled. Yeah, how fucking cool would that be?
That'd be amazing.
Zavid writes this down. Idea to get to Osirian. All right. Anyway, so I'm here to see the observatory, but also to check in. Have you gained any insights after installing your crystal here?
Well, yes, actually. Yeah, come upstairs. Yes, please.
And we can just kind of zoom you over to the bottom half of this map. And coming up the tight spiral staircase, clink, clink, clinks beneath your feet, you do eventually see the large optical telescope brass pointed out the northern window. And sitting at the base of it is the halfling, Penny Wessel, the green-eyed, brown-haired halfling, whom you saved in the bottom of Wessel's Pestles in Eladir. They have since moved here to Druma, to set up shop because it is far safer here than it was in Elidir. But you come upstairs and she says,
Oh, good morning, Savid. Well, welcome back.
Yes, it is good to be back. Though it will be a short trip for us. We have to go back to Shadow Valley, but I wanted to know if you had come up with any insights since installing the crystal and using the observatory in regards to the conjunction. And I have my notes here. Shane is not going to take any notes, but Zavid has a notepad just so he can share all of these details with Khan and Reese. So we'll just assume to save time in the roleplay, I'm going to just tell you everything that they're telling me.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah, that works.
We've discovered much, actually.
And as you're saying this, the swarm starts walking down the stairs. What is it? The
little clockwork gnome with a little
the clockwork
clock.
gnome. What I have a name for him. Yes, the sky watching autonomous robotic mechanome, the swarm. He comes downstairs. Clink, 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 clink. This little clockwork gnome with his pointy hat comes downstairs and says,
Welcome back to Savid. Much data has been gathered.
So what they essentially say is that
We have found that 2 planets have recently come into convergence within the last day, perhaps 3.
Well, I can tell you the Wanderer definitely. As a cleric,
Yes.
I felt that one.
Triaxis, yes, absolutely. You must be quite honed in on the divine magics.
I appreciate the benefit. I did not appreciate my disdain for my friend who worships Sarenrae. That didn't feel good. Luckily, it was a...
Oh no. Balls. Okay.
being of a god.
Yes,
Hey,
that would be very difficult.
one sec.
It was.
what's up?
I think my computer... my connection just did a thing.
Oh no. Let me see.
Can we possibly rewind
Sure.
to around when... like, when the NPC just started speaking about, like, about the conversions and stuff like that.
Sure. You just didn't hear us?
Yeah, my Zoom
I
completely
gotcha.
stopped.
Okay.
So, yes, we have discovered that 2 planets have come into convergence recently.
And Zavid pointed out that even he felt Triaxis the Wanderer come in, and the mechanome walks up the swarm, says,
Yes, the second one is Aposte, the messenger. This planet is very deeply connected to ley lines and magical powers of the arcane.
And I'm looking at like their chart and everything, and like so they've got like a little planetarium thing, and this one's
Yes.
clearly like the axis is tilted, like the orbit is, and so I'm like, so wait a minute, the stranger Octern, that's the one that doesn't belong to our system, that came from the outside, yet it's on the same plane of axis, but this one is tilted, like it's up. Did this used to be like a moon from Breath of the Cradle, or like, do we know what happened here?
I have seen images of this in my mind. That there are wizards who had attempted to take control of it, to force it into alignment in the past, but they were fully unsuccessful and merely managed to knock it out of its orbit slightly. This is very astute of you. But some nefarious wizards, you realize that whenever Aposte comes into alignment, arcane magic users become more powerful. So someone who is wanting to gain more power, trying to force it. But it was not without its consequences, as you clearly recognized.
Yes, it definitely seems like not something a mortal should mess with, at the very least. So I'm like looking at all this, and I say, so it was Aposte the Messenger, Traxxas the Wanderer, and which other one?
Just these 2 at the moment. There is one coming up. The next one within would be Alctern the Stranger.
Okay, and which one's, so Breathida's already in alignment, and which one
Yes.
else?
let's see, I've got
Versus
it
the line, or
Uh,
that not yet?
here. Lyavara, that was the very first one. That was the one.
Ah.
That was the reason Reese left Assyrian in the first place, or Reese had heard about the all of these mirages in the desert getting bigger, more illusions, cities that were coming under like dancing plague type spells, like weird mental illusion-y enchantment type stuff. So that was Leavara. Then Breath of the Cradle, that's the one that made all the water elementals go crazy, but also made like cattle breed more, more life,
Yeah.
but crazy water elementals. Then Triaxis is the one you felt. That's the one that has to deal with religiosity. And then Aukturn is the one you didn't feel, but it happened at the same time.
Now
Or
Octurn,
not Aukturn. Not Aukturn. Apostate. Said that wrong.
Apostate. And the messenger does what again?
The
I got your clip notes for
messenger.
that.
No, you're good. The messenger is arcane magic surges, just like Triaxis
Oh.
did Divine.
So Arcane and Divine are both getting a boost.
Arcane and Divine casters, Con, if you had spell slots, you would be getting a boost from this, since you're a witch with arcane spells. But none of you are arcane casters. So the same benefit will happen to all arcane casters, where they get an extra spell slot 2 below their maximum. But there's an effect
that makes you like squirrel yourself away to study and research.
Yes, it is. But it also tends. All users of arcane magic become more powerful, but also tend to lose focus on the world around them. Ley lines course with power. Wizards create new and incredible spells. Bloodlines crop up, and newly minted sorcerers. So they gain the extra spell slot, but they have to make that will save every morning, like you did. But instead of it being to work with people of other religions like you had to roll for, it's if they fail, they get a -2 to perception, all perception, including initiative, and a -2 to all recall knowledge checks that aren't arcana. And on a critical failure, it's a -4.
I'm
My
okay
God.
not being an arcana
But if they pass, it's like a 7 for the will save. You just need to roll like a nat 6. It's not hard.
Lumpy,
It's just
you
that
know
it's
my
every day.
rolls. You know my
But again,
rolls. That doesn't work.
None of you three are arcane casters, so it doesn't really affect the three of
Yeah,
you.
I mean, technically, I have spells from that list, but it was all from
Nope.
like occult sorcery. So
Yeah, once the one that has to do with occult magic comes into alignment, that'll affect you as well. You'll be double affected
cool.
because you were a divine
Lovely.
occult caster. Yeah. So you have that to look
which one's the
forward to.
occult one? Is that the diaspora
The
or is,
occult? No, the diaspora is just the asteroid belt. Let me look here.
is it Eox?
It might be Eox.
I think. I
Yes,
think it
Eox is
yeah.
occult magic. So it's the same benefit, 1 extra spell slot, 2 below your maximum. And you've rolled religion for this before, so you've already figured this stuff out. So I don't mind just telling you. So if you fail the thing every morning, you become under the influence of the oracular tongue's curse while in combat or any similarly stressful situation. If you fail, you have to roll a d20, and depending on what you roll, that's the only language you're able to speak while in a combat or a stressful situation. And I have a list of 20 different languages.
So inconvenient. All right.
But you get an extra spell slot.
Yeah, I guess so. That's
It's
gonna help me
that
at least.
little
I can
bit.
prepare. You want to know what's kind of sweet? I was reading up staff rules because there's like a lot of rules, but you prepare your staff every morning essentially to be ready to use. However, divine casters can like prepare it one way, and then occult casters and like arcane casters, spontaneous versus prepared is
Yeah.
the difference.
Yeah.
I have both, so you can do two different things. So one of them means you can with prepared you can pump in more magic into the staff, and with occult you can all your stuff using the staff is cheaper. So with both, your staff becomes like I can basically spend 1 spell slot and convert it to like 7 spells from the staff
That's awesome.
using both of that.
How did? Wow.
But I mean, it's all of a bit of a lesser value than what you put in, but like really useful spells can be cast multiple times now. So like haste, for example, I could do haste like a bunch of times and that would be very
gross.
nice. But so Octurn the Stranger, I remember.
Yes, that'll be the next one to come into alignment.
I
yes.
remember the effect of that one wasn't even really negative, which is kind of funny since all the ones that are at home in the system were that kind of negatively affect the world in some way, Octurne just makes it easier to like find things or something?
Yes, it seems that whenever Arcturn comes into alignment, it makes air elementals lethargic and complacent, and sandstorms begin to subside.
Things just chill out. That's so weird.
It's bizarre, yes.
No wonder they call it the Stranger.
Perhaps there's some unforeseen downside we've not heard of.
Perhaps. This is the one also furthest away, so it gets into alignment the least often, is that correct?
That's correct, yes, the least often.
When was the last time that I look at the Clockwork Gnome, when was the last time that Octurne was in alignment? Was it the last conjunction, or was it?
It starts clicking around and says, you're doing calculations, and it says, the last time that Octan the Stranger came into alignment with Galarian and the Sol system was 237 years prior.
And the last conjunction was much longer.
Way longer than that.
Okay, so it's frequent enough that it's not like never.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like coming to an alignment, Earth and Pluto. Like, it happens
Yeah.
maybe once every other lifetime.
Like 2
kind of-
centuries, yeah.
every 2
okay.
centuries or so. Not unheard of, but not exactly common.
Got it. Okay. So I start making a list. I'm like, all right, Octurne's next. That's good for us because we need to go to Assyria, and that's going to subside those sandstorms, allow us passage. We'll have to be careful because Liavara the Dreamer has been in alignment for a while, so that's going to make things a little more difficult, but sort of inevitable. What is after this? Is it Eox coming into alignment? Are we going to the inner system here?
The swarm starts doing some quick calculations in its mechanical head and says,
Beyond that, the next one is Abalon the horse, and then versus the line.
So
Yeah,
it's Octurne, then Abalon, then Verces.
uh-huh. And then
Abalon was which one was that?
This one's bad. Beasts become feral and wild. Predators kill more than they need to survive. Herbivores fiercely defend territory. Scavengers don't wait for death to begin feasting. And there's a thing that you don't know about that happens as well.
Why do they call it the horse? This sounds
just
like it should be called Abalon the Beast or something.
It should be. I think it's because it's the innermost and it travels the fastest around the sun.
I like
quick
that.
like
I
a
wasn't sure
galloping
if it was
horse.
like a Trojan horse reference.
I'm not
or
100% sure, but
expected.
that's my best guess is that it's because it's like a horse running around.
That makes sense. So I'm like thinking here. All right. We've also got Akaton. Is that the last one to come into alignment?
Yes, Akaton will be the last one, the last sign of the conjunction when wars finally spark.
That is going to be good to know. Holy shit. If that was like first, we'd have a lot harder time here. Versus the line is a problem though. How much time do we have? How much time do we have until Versus the line comes into alignment? Like any months?
And
Because we're going to be in Osirian for a while. We need Versus to not be in alignment while we're in Osirian.
2 months, 3 days, 37 hours, 43 seconds.
Okay. I'd like mark all this down. That's great. And then it's Octurne, Abalon, Versus, Eox,
Castrovel, then Eox.
Castravel, then Eox, then Akaton.
Yes.
All right. I write it down, and I share the information of like the alignment stuff that we've like basically anything important that could be shared that could help them out. I'll just share with them.
Okay,
she
great.
doesn't necessarily remember every little detail, but I know you have a better grasp on that. So
Sure. And then the little man, Pembroke, says,
There was one thing I wanted to share with you. Once I brought my focus crystal here and re-focused on my visions from Desna, the lady, I was able to see one thing. I saw a faceless pharaoh wearing the golden crown of Druma, deep beneath the baking sands. With this power, it was able to open the prison housing the rough beast. It was very cryptic. I do not believe it is literally a crown of Druma, but you must be on the lookout.
I have an idea what this means. And like I could probably just feel like, even though I'm not connected the same way like a warlock is to their patron, like I could probably just like imagine Cabrera being like like his fist clenching at this revelation.
Yes. You're imagining, you're seeing in your head Nyarlathotep wearing a crown, and that doesn't sit right with you.
Yeah, but knowing too, it's figurative, meaning the blood of the Druma household, or Ariane's fucking bloodline. We have to find those siblings. We can't let them get a hold of any of them. Okay. Thank you for this. One
Of course.
last thing.
Yes.
You have Pembroke, you have a really nice staff. Check the staff out. Isn't this cool? It's made from the star metal from the diaspora when they came down during the coronation.
Oh man, yes, the meteor brain creatures. That was it was described to me. Obviously, I didn't see them myself, but look at that. Jezetiel, is it?
And he's touching it all over, like feeling the
Yes.
slight changes where all the stripes are, and
It's
I'm
smooth and cold.
new to staff work here, using a staff as a spellcasting focus and preparing it. And I've been doing a little bit of reading, but what gem should I put in here? Like, do you have any suggestions, any recommendations based on your experience, or?
Aha! Well, I find that using a gemstone is somewhat of a cliche, a bit of a red herring. It's what the flashier wizards do. The best stuff foci come from just any powerful artifact with a close connection to you and your magics.
Brain on a stick. Brain on a stick. Brain on a stick.
Do it.
I immediately think of putting like a jar in there.
Do it.
There
is that whole brain canister item. Con can make that.
It's
like
and it's a magic item, so you
item.
can't just like it's not breakable like a normal jar is. So I'm like, oh wait a minute. And
Make any
Brain
friends,
blast.
Zavid.
No one will be nice to
Zavid
us.
makes a brain blast.
brain blast, yes.
The
And a
brain of a powerful necromancer would
A
be an
brain's like
incredible
this
focus.
big, like they're really not that large. So a sleek sized like thing could fit on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it if you are.
I might look at some alternatives, but Zavid immediately is just imagining himself carrying Akaina's brain on a stick and like cast magic for me, and then them being like, no, be like, do it. They're like, and they have to like cast magic.
I love that. It would be a
Ooh.
fitting punishment for her. She was horrible.
She was a pretty bad
She's
person.
pretty bad. I like making
Alright.
my bad guys unequivocally evil.
All right, Zavid finishes up here, but I think he's done. He'll
Okay.
return so we can move on to what Khan or Reese might be up to here.
All right. I'm gonna go for Con real quick. This will probably be faster. So, Con, you said you wanted to check out an alchemy store.
Just acquire some reagents if my supplies are running low.
Absolutely. So you're very easily able to get directions from one of the guards to a place here in town called Alchemy's Alchemy, run by a guy named Alchemy. So you are able to find your way. It's a round stone building, and you open the door and are able to and are overcome with these smells of alchemical chemicals, reagents, powders, all sorts of things. And then a bell rings as you enter. Ding, ding, ding. Short moment later, a large human man wearing flowing green robes comes out and he says, hello, welcome to Alchemy's Alchemy. What can I do for you today?
Good day. You know me. I'm just going to the plows. I assume Con would have been here like a couple of times before.
Welcome, of course. We have free reign upon my wares.
Very much like a cartoon. Con is gonna like follow like the floating smell of the various reagents?
Some are caustic and acidic, some are sweet and fruity, some smell like death itself, but you're very at home with this cacophony of olfactory senses. It's very
My
loud.
lab away
in
from
here.
lab.
Is there something specific I can help you with today?
Real quick, I'm just gonna look over all of Quan's recipes. It's because I should actually start using the poisons that I can make.
You have the
There's so
potential
many.
to create a lot at this point. Let me see. PF2E poisons, alchemical
Because
poisons.
I know there's like the generic poisoner poison that's just like an extra D4.
Mm-hmm. But no, you're way past that. So you can have up to level 12. So there's... Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's... I'm sending it to you in Discord real fast.
Uh-huh.
And there's 4 that are level 12, like the highest level. They are Mage Bane, which that's something that you made the one time and were planning to use against Danny's dad.
Yeah, that wasn't even something I made. That was something we
Or you
had.
found it or something, yeah. Then there's Slumber Wine, which knocks people unconscious. Spell Eating Pitch, which I'm not sure what that's some kind of consumable.
I like slumber wine is just wine. Yeah, it knocks people unconscious. They have to drink a lot of it first.
A lot of it,
but...
yeah. And then Black Finger Blight. What is this? Just damage and confused. Yeah, I just sent you a big list. You can make anything up to level 12 on that list. So,
Ooh.
Mhm.
What was the last one you described?
12 Black Finger Blight. It lasts for 6 rounds. It's a DC 32 Fortitude save. With 1 round, it does 66 poison. Stage 2, it does 8d6. Stage 3 does 10d6 and makes them confused. That's gnarly.
Wow! How many actions does it take to apply?
1. And then you just stab.
Well, I have to like make that now. I can't not make that.
Yeah, right. What's it called? Black Blight? Items. See if I have it in Fantasy Grounds. I might. Black Blight? Blight? Light Bomb? Nope. Whatever. I'll just make it up for you later at some point. But we can say that you have the materials to make those. That shouldn't be very difficult. You can more than afford that. Oh, it's Black Finger Blight. Let's say there you have enough for 5 of them. How about that?
Sounds perfect.
You have more than enough gold, and we don't really need to RP out that too much if you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I think I'll pay for the materials for Blackfinger Blight. But the little rat that lives in my cloak probably doesn't want me paying for everything. It is anathema to what was it? Pay for something you could steal otherwise.
Yes, that is correct. Pay or work for something.
That's right. That's right.
It's the 6-legged white rat in your cloak is whispering in your ear.
Why would you pay full price for all of these? Your hard work is meaningless.
You know what? You're right. I
charges
think
too
it's
much
kind of
anyway.
like making. It's kind of
It's
making like
capitalist.
polite conversation with the gentleman running the establishment. She'll pocket a few ingredients for Mage Bane.
Give me a thievery check publicly. But yeah,
Aye,
he
aye.
keeps whispering in your ear inside your cloak.
They overcharge us for these components. Look at that. That's ridiculous. 37 gold for blackburn resin? That's insanity. People are starving for less.
Just whispering these awful. That's. Yes, you are pocketing these things while looking this man in the eye without him noticing at all. Kind of almost doing the cup and ball game where you're like picking up potions, looking at them, setting them down, moving them around, spinning them. Occasionally, one jumps into your cloak, and he's none the wiser. You've played this game with this man so many times at this point, and he's never caught you.
Mhm.
Oh, well, wonderful to see you. Is there anything else I can get for you while you're in here? Anything special you need sent away for? Special order?
No, I don't think that I ordered anything. This should be perfect, actually.
Very well, very well. Glad to have your customers always. Please come again anytime, Con.
Yeah, of course. Say hi to the wife and kids for me.
Will do, will do. And you walk out, and it's like you said, like in a cartoon when someone has clearly been stealing. You just hear glass clinking in your cloak as you're walking out. Clink, 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 clink. And this man has absolutely no clue that you just kind of cleaned him out of anything worth a damn from his store. So yeah, you're able to make up to 5 of those. Black Finger Blight? Yes, there it is. I'll send you the direct link to that.
Of course. Khan walks out with something called Black Finger Blight. It couldn't just be spices or something innocuous. Like, no, this would kill like a town.
Well, it's the ingredients for it.
Yes, and it's for science, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Always for science.
I mean, I'm one to talk. I got a brain on a stick.
The stakes are getting raised. Things are getting more dangerous.
It's true. And we should be trusting each other at this point. Like, you know.
You should be trusting Khan. That was your mistake.
Literally last week, Reese told a secret that he was not intending for the party to know.
True.
I, as the player, did not expect him to do that. But then the panic trauma happened.
Zavid's just like, I trust everyone implicitly. I've never been lied to.
Yeah. Who'd lie to me? I'm scary.
Alright, so Reese, I think at this point I'm going to switch over to you.
Okay.
You'd said that you wanted to walk to like a blacksmith's place with Mythonar,
Yeah.
correct? You wanted to fix up your bow,
Yeah.
right? Alright, so he says that, well, this town has probably changed a lot since I was a little kid. I mean, I know there's Blacksmith Row over in the Market District, but we could walk there and just kind of wander around. I'm sure we'd find the black smoke somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to walk around much. We kind of went where we needed to go to get in, get out, and I don't know this place at all.
Well, it'll be an adventure. Let's go.
Okay.
So you begin to walk, and I actually have a map of Druma that I never really got to use while you were in, because you left almost immediately. Come on. There it is. Oh, no, that's the one that's covered in flowers. It is no longer covered in flowers. That was a fun one. Okay, so this is the city of Druma.
Oh no, it's the one they're covered in leeches. Dang, that was fun too, but a little different.
Yeah, yikes. So you're able to walk from the castle, which is down here, into kind of the little market up here, and there's a bit of a several places that are clearly blacksmiths. And you eventually are able to come across one, and Mythonar says, "Oh, look, this place looks like they might have something."
Oh.
And it's a small stone building called the Arm and Hammer.
I remember that.
Yes. Or am I reusing that? Damn. Oh well. Pretend that's a. Oh well.
The
There could be
Arm
more
and
than one.
Hammer Part 2.
This is the Arm and Hammer Druma franchise. You
Yes.
see a human man, kind of barrel chested with a short sleeve shirt and leather gloves, working at an anvil with a hammer out front. Yeah, I think this might seem like the place.
Could I do a society check to just make sure, like, this is certainly the place? I don't know if that's society or something that, like, Reese wants, like, the best. And not that he doesn't trust Mythonar, but, like...
Society to be able to, like, ask around people in town while you're wandering. Yeah, that'd be all right. Throw me a society in the tower.
Okay.
Like, just, asking a guard where the Smith Row is, asking people who, asking a guard specifically is a good choice. Who makes the best arms and armament, because who
Yeah.
better knows than the military? So yeah,
Exactly.
sure. I'll allow society for that. Go ahead and throw that in the tower.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're led to. These guards don't really seem to be able to come to a consensus. Some people like this place. Some guy says my cousin does it. Some guy does his own work. You get a different answer from every single guard. No one place seems to be sticking out to you as like the best place in town.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure. So yeah, you come to. Oh, that's not Laughner. Come to this place, and eventually you do see that human, as I said. And he finally looks up from his ambush. Oh, hey there. Oh, let me unlock that for you. Sorry. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, hey there. What can I do for you? How can I arm and hammer?
Yeah, I love this franchise. It's really great.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, so I have this, and Reese takes out his bow. It's just standard and could use a little bit more oomph, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. You want to add a little magic to it, make it a little more, give it a little kick?
Yeah, a little boom boom pow.
Yeah, that works for me. Let's see what I got here. And he puts down his gloves, puts his hammer down, and walks over to a big chest and opens it up. And he says, "Yeah, I got a good selection of runes over here. Take a look." And we don't really need to RP much of this. It's just rune selection. Yeah. But yeah, he has quite a selection of runes. You're 12th level? Let me see. You might be able to get a +2 at this point. Fundamental runes. Because I know +2 runes are pretty close to 12th level. Let's see. Come on. Runes. Weapon property? Oh, there's so many rules in Pathfinder, and that's good and bad.
Still better than 1E. 1E had way too
many. Oh god,
many.
1E was way too many. You're absolutely correct.
Love Pathfinder. Was told about 1E. Said no, thank you.
Now hold on. If you look at 1E through the lens of Archives of Nethys, I looked at that and I'm like, this is ridiculous. But there's another SRE site that's a little easier to navigate for 1E. Yeah, PFSRD, I think, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I built like my first 1E characters, and it was a lot easier. But
gotcha.
By easier, I mean by, degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still very difficult. You're right to be wary of 1E.
All right, so yes, you are actually high enough now to get a greater striking rune and a +2 rune. They're very, very expensive, but essentially at this point, gold is a non-issue for this party. I think you've pretty much found out. Yes, there's no point in keeping track of gold. Y'all have mountains of it. So yeah, you would be able to get up to a +2, greater striking, and then you could add 2 more property runes to it, like flaming or corrosive or whatever you wanted. 2 others.
Cool.
So I'll send that to you in Discord, and we can. There's so many choices.
I also, as a point of order, I think we could probably let the Bank of Abadar like take care of our holdings and make sure nothing happens to it, since we've already worked with them and we trust them. That way, if we ever need it, we just call up the Bank of Abadar and they can handle that for us.
Yes, that definitely works. That's literally what they are for. Banking is part of their religion. So, and I just sent you, Reese, the list of runes. So we don't have to sit here and go through a giant list of runes at the moment. But you could get up to +2, greater striking, something, and you could get that on your bow or both of your short swords, or you could get it on all of them. Just upgrade. On same thing. We can upgrade your weapons runes as well. Before we leave Druma. Okay. So you could also get up to a +2, greater striking, something.
All right. So Reese is gonna like look at Mathnar. Stay here. So I need to talk to the blacksmith about something. So he
of course
goes over to the blacksmith and he goes through his bag and takes out one of the meteor rubies.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Can you whip up a ring real fast?"
I guess I can try.
I can give you platinum for it.
Yeah, I guess. Hold on.
Yeah.
And he runs over and he gets like a little trowel and he kind of takes a couple pieces of metal and bends it around into a little basic loop, and then kind of solders it at the bottom. He says, "Do you need a setting?"
Yeah, and he pops over the ruby and he's just like, can you enchant this in any way to either have some form of sending or some form of communication
I mean,
or tracking?
I'm no mage, but I can make it so that it's available to do that.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Oh, give it a try. And so he uses some nice metals and he kind of wraps it around in like a wire around the coil, the loop, and he says, "Oh, it's not much, but I think this should work as a basic foundation for you if someone is able to cast that kind of a spell."
Do you know which shop in town actually would be able to help me with that one?
Maybe over in the Mages Guild, up to the north. And he kind of gives you basic directions to that way.
Okay, so he pockets it and gives them the exchange of money and stuff and goes back over to Marthaner. All right, one more stop. Mages Guild.
Cool. So I don't have a map for that.
So we could just use
sort
the
of,
general map.
yeah, we could just sort of hand wave that. So it'd be up to the north in Druma. It's a little long walk, but you managed to walk by the riverside. It's a lovely walk. Spring is just around the corner. You're finally through the worst parts of winter, which, time moving quickly may or may not be in your favor. So spring is kind of coming. But you're able to get up to the Mages Guild, and with little effort, you're able to find a place that's an enchantment shop that does these kinds of things.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, what did you want into it? Like a little sending spell?
Kind of like a
walkie-talkies?
Kind of like walkie-talkies, kind of, or just like some form where like they can communicate if like, hey, what's up? Do we need to send anything? Like, kind of like,
gotcha.
Yeah,
Sure.
kind of like a walkie-talkie-ish.
You're able to find a place that is able to enchant that with like the sending spell, essentially, and it's not like the sending spell where you could do it to anybody you want, but it'd be more like a one-way, which is sort of what you're looking for anyway. So yeah, it's just like a two-way walkie-talkies. So you're able to get that relatively easily. It's cheaper than the runes, that's for sure.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yep. And then I guess we'll just make it back to. Wait, you said there's a river?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna find a nice spot at the river.
Right, Druma. Where are you at? There we go. Yes, there's quite a lot of rivers actually. It's the city is kind of bisected on two sides by a river.
Okay.
So yeah, there's like river walks and things. Bridges.
Excellent. That's not loading for some reason.
No, it's kind of a big map.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Anyway, the city it's got a lot of rivers and river walks, bridges, things of that nature.
Cool. All right, so like they're walking back to the castle, and Reese kind of like sees the river and like those cute little like benches type of things, and he just like walks over and sits down. It's like, hey, let's take a break.
Marthaner will sit.
So I don't know what your plans are after this when we leave for Shadow Valley.
Well, I'm planning on, getting to know my family at least. Walking around my city. I haven't been here in a long time. Not since I was a child. And he looks around at like all the trees and the temples in this district.
That's probably a good idea. Get reacquainted. It'll probably be nice for the locals to see a face that means something to them.
One that isn't my father.
Oh, anybody but him.
Absolutely.
Since, I did my business with the blacksmith and the magic stuff, I kind of got something for you.
Oh, you got me a present?
Yeah.
What is it?
And there's this blue box with gold, like, shimmering all over it, kind of, like a little illusion. And he pops it over.
Oh, wow. This is pretty.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of opens it up and sees what the blacksmith's made, and he says, wow, this seems magical.
It is.
What is that? I've never seen a gem like that.
It's from the meteors that crashed originally last week.
During Danny's coronation.
Mm-hmm. I picked them up.
Well, thank you. These are beautiful. This is beautiful. What is?
Multi-purpose.
What does it do?
One, you have something to look at and remember me.
Well, that's not hard.
Two, it looks pretty on you.
And everything does, he says as he kind of flexes.
I call that challenge material, but you're probably right. And three, most importantly, we can communicate.
Oh, it's a sending stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. And he kind of puts it up into his ear like this, and it looks really stupid. But you're aware enough of the magic that it would technically work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yep.
1, 2.
Stereo.
1, 2. Great. Yeah.
Stereo.
He just looks like a giant dork. Put it with this big
But
ruby up
he's
against his
cute
ear.
while he's doing it.
So,
yeah.
thank you. I appreciate this. That'll be really easy to keep in touch then.
Yeah, I figured. Well, we're halfway across in the desert with those spells and madness going on, and the party probably meeting my father. Thought that it would be great to keep in touch. You know, not like I need no, I probably do need a therapist, but not like I don't trust my party when I'm gonna have a breakdown, but you kind of accidentally saw one happen, so you know.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Y'all are strong, and I trust the last of Lux Et Umbra to take care of you. So, just take care of yourself and call me so often.
Yeah. Is there anything we should know about your other sister?
Oh well, Sarah Nulia was the oldest of all of us. She was definitely the most. She studied the texts of Sarenrae with Mother far more than any of the rest of us. She was very dedicated to the Dawnflower. I remember her always scolding me and Eredrill over. Well, we would roughhouse. I picked on Eredrill a lot, even though I was younger than him. He was always the skinny one. But she would always scold me for picking on him for being small, even though well, it doesn't matter. She's very bright, very dedicated. I always knew she would make an excellent queen, but I was taken when I was young. I don't remember much more than that.
Do you remember what she looks like outside of, I know, your eyes?
Oh well, blonde like all of us, and long ears like an elf and half elf. She's tall. She was thin when I saw her last, but she was also barely a teenager.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
My guess is she looks like Danny.
Okay, that helps. And I think by knowing your eyes and my knowing of both of your eyes pretty well, we'll probably be able to spot her well.
Yeah, it's a family trait. You'll be able to see them just like mine. And he looks up, and his eyes are just magenta as always, looking exactly like Eredrill, exactly like Danny, and exactly like their grandmother Talandia.
I will never get sick of looking at those. Downside of Danny not being in the party, I can't look at your eyes anymore.
Oh, thank you. My grandmother made them.
Okay, look, your grandmother's hot, and I'm very, very confused about how
It's weird.
It
elves
is.
Elves live a long time.
Yeah, they do. Like, I get it, but at the same time, like, I'm a full elf. I'm not even a half elf.
Yeah, well, so is she.
That makes sense.
As you're having this conversation, kind of getting back to the gates of Druma, wandering into, because you were planning on meeting the rest of the party in the throne room before heading out, because Maris wanted to see you right before you left, and I forgot to put a picture of Maris on the thing. 1 second, there we are. Is there any last minute stuff anyone wants to do in Druma?
No.
I don't have a thing to do, but I've got a revelation to share.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay.
So, I was looking at some cantrips for my staff, right? And I realized that we know a lot of things in game, but mechanically, to express something that you take it as a lore skill. And literally, there's like every idea under the sun can be a lore skill. And we all, I think, just have like one, right?
Khan has an extra.
What do you have, Khan?
Oh,
You just took it with your
Oh,
witch dedication.
Mine is desert.
was it Lao Shupo lore?
You also have
Lao
lore
lore?
underworld from being a rogue. It's on your skills tab.
Well, I'm gonna share this spell in the Discord. It is an occult spell I can take called Time Sense, and one of the examples of using it is that if you have astronomy lore, you'll know the precise time when conjunctions happen.
Oh no.
Literally has to do exactly with this game, and I'm like, I think we know enough about astronomy at this point, right? Like, can I add astronomy lore, and can we all each add like a lore that is relevant to what we've learned or know in the game?
That's very intriguing.
Desert
I'd be willing
is
to do that.
absolutely a thing you'd probably want to.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, you can all have a lore based on what we've done in the game, and yes, Con, you can have another.
Yay!
So what? But you need to convince me. That's
Okay.
the trade-off. You two need to. Zavid, you've already convinced me to give you astronomy lore, so I will drop that onto your skills.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, you click the LO button.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. So trained. Just trained.
Yep, train.
Good enough.
And then type just astronomy. There you go. So yeah, what type of lore would Reese and Khan have acquired by this point? Because that's an interesting point. Lores,
Yeah, just a-
specific lores aren't super useful, so I don't mind
Yeah.
giving you one.
Lore underworld means like criminal underworld, right? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
not like the devil underworld.
Yeah.
I think the fitting one for Reese would be something to do with orcs.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Skills, orc lore. I'm into that. Orc lore. There you go.
Thank
Just
you.
drop that on your sheet.
Sounds like a fun name.
Orc lore.
I'm Orc Lore.
My name is Orc Lore. Barbarian of Belkson. Orc Lore. My brother Mech Lore.
Yeah, I saw that spell and I'm like, wait a minute, this exists? This
That's
is
pretty cool.
Pathfinder 2nd edition is just a constant process of me going, that exists? I can do that?
Yeah, that's how you defeated Danny's dad. You did it with one weird ass spell I'd never heard of. But so you're able to eventually make your way to the throne room, where Lord Maris is having her breakfast at the table there to your right, and Frag does join you because he asked if he could go with you all, and you just said yes, so just to have him join you. We were going to have Frag today, but he is feeling a little under the weather, so he will be joining us next week. But so Frag will be going with you. But when you arrive to the throne with Lord Maris says, yes, good morning, Lux Et Umbra. Yes, glad to see you. Yes, please, sit, enjoy. I have had food prepared for all of you. And there's a big thing of food in front of you, like country ham, biscuits, and gravy. It's quite a nice, thickish type fare.
All right.
Have you made any decisions on how you are going to get across the inner sea to Osirian?
Well,
All right, hear me out. Water walk. Now, we are not walking, though. We get a boat pulled by 2 steeds with water walk on them. They ride us across the ocean. Huh?
Reese wants to do. Well, Elliot wants to. Society check to see how weird that would look.
Oh, that would look very weird. I'm not going to make you roll for that. that would be very, very strange. That's not.
Okay.
That's a thing that is not exactly common, but in a world like this, that is the sort of thing that would you imagine would exist.
And Reese looks over to Reese. It's like, look, do you want to be noticed or do you not want to be noticed?
I see what you're getting at. Okay. Well, I suppose being stealthy would be best with Breath of the Cradle and alignment and the water elementals going nuts. If we were just riding across the surface, that might provoke something. in a future era when we are not trying to save the world, I want to try this at least once.
I'm all for seahorses, but like this I'm here for I'm not here for your brain. That's what everything else was. I'm here to help, with my knowledge of my homeland.
I'm not here for your entertainment. You don't really want to mess with me tonight. By the way, I'm still bleeding. Can I not be bleeding?
Oh, yes, I could fix that. I don't know why why are you bleeding?
From the battle. With the artifacts.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
There
is
you
it
go.
Zavid's time of the month?
There you go. Plus, I got your
Thank
bleed
you.
off. Alright. Well, I can, at the very least, I can help you get back down to Shadow Valley. You can take the royal yacht down the Konarika River. I believe you've done this once before.
We have, yes.
I haven't, but sounds great.
We could take a yacht. That the
Or
thing
we
is,
could try
right?
your seahorse thing to Shadow Valley.
Coming back.
Going to there. We have to go there. Isn't
Oh yeah.
So instead of a yacht,
I like
we could
that.
do the boat with the horses, but then we could leave the horses at Shadow Valley, and then you can do your sea adventure.
Can we commandeer a boat by royal decree of the Druma Crown that can hold us and two horses that are tired and need to rest? So like they can pull us as like it's horse powered boat, but when they need to rest and the water walk spell's wearing off, and I can't do that a million times a day, then they can come back onto the boat and rest while we just use like sailing power or like currents or something.
Oh, the Druman Royal Yacht should be more than sufficient to accommodate a few steeds at the front. This is a very strange request, but definitely within the power
It's a
of the Druman
scientific
military.
inquiry more than anything. I want
For
to see if it'll
science.
work. Yes. A magical,
Anything
I
for
guess,
science, as
arcane
they say.
inquiry.
If you say for science after anything, you're clearly knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, you're in the clear as soon as you say for science.
That's how.
Zavid writes that down. Always say for science to clear morally dubious
That's how Reese
requests.
has gotten so many kisses in his past. It's for science. Can I kiss you for
Science.
science?
It's for science. It's always for science.
Like, oh my god, science.
It's
But
just gonna
yes,
be a
that should
point
be-
where like I'm using this, but I'm also not smart enough to know when people are using it on me. So I've just got like all these different contraptions to me. It's like, what's going on? Well, Khan said she wanted to test them for science, though, so it's fine.
That's
It's
exactly
like
it.
drawing blood out of me and stuff like that. It's okay.
It's for science.
For science.
Okay, so I'm preparing a thing for you because that was relatively unexpected, but I love it, so I'm rolling with it. Yeah. Okay, I have it. So, Lord Maris gets up from her food and she quickly walks away, trying once you get your request for more horses to be taken to the harbor. She leaves. So for the moment, you are left alone in the at your breakfast table.
So, we are taking the yacht to Shadow Valley, but not across the ocean.
No, because
no.
we don't want to be too seen. We have a mission, but it's probably best we do our stealthiest work. You guys haven't been to Assyrian lately, so outside of the reason for treasure, things were getting really weird, and I wasn't sure if it was a vision or if they were telling the truth about the treasure in the tower being Danny, but things have aligned to a point where it's getting weird and hallucinogenic. So while the seahorse wouldn't be the worst thing they've seen, it still is very not normal.
I'm gonna lore dump everything I learned from the astronomy tower, including the vision of the faceless pharaoh wearing the crown of Druma and awakening Rovagog, and then I'll share my theory that it means they need the blood of the Druma household in order to do this, which means we really got to get these siblings and protect them from. Here's what I'm worried about, right? After, time passes, lore's dumped. I'm worried that we are going to gather all of them in one place, and then somehow our enemies are going to learn of this, find them, and use them in some way.
I already have that covered.
You do?
I do.
Like emergency planar travel, or like how you doing that?
So I liked it and I put a ring on it. Meaning
I don't understand the phrase, but okay.
Right. So I gave my thinner a sending spell ring. So
Oh, that's very logical. Very good.
Again, not just a hat
It means
rack,
nothing
but-
else.
Clearly, that can't be interpreted in any other way. That's a perfectly logical and thing to do.
Not just a hat rack and cute boy kisser or kisser and stuff attached to this mouth. I have ideas, and I figured, well, of course, I like to get text messages and calls from my partners. This is one we gotta really protect, and I think Danny would kill us if anything happened to any of them. And I only know Mythodar, so as her brother-in-law to be, I am going to set up my protections.
There.
So if anything weird happens, Mythodar can tell us, and we'll know as soon as he's able to, because he's going to be wearing his ring.
Okay, I understand that. This is good. Mythonar, forgive my, I don't mean to speak ill of, Eridril was the other one?
Mm-hmm. Eridril,
I don't
yes.
mean to speak ill of Eridril, but he's gone through a lot, and he's still on the road to recovery mentally and physically.
We're working on
Mythonar,
this.
who seems to be a bit of a country boy based on the fact that, he was sort of stuck in a city of Wyvernstag. Very good, well-maintained city, but technologically, until those gnomes came, not very high-tech. I think with the knowledge of the arcane that Eridril has, Danny's sort of worldly knowledge that she's learning, and Mythonar's, I think he's very wise. I mean, he was an advisor for so long. I think combined, they'll be able to protect each other. So I think it was a good idea giving Mythonar the sending ring. That way we can stay in contact, and obviously, worst case scenario, Danny can always hit us up in a dream spell or something if
And
there's
you
something really
can
important.
Go and speak to her with your sending.
That's right.
So you got Danny, I got Mythonar. I don't know anything about the other brother, but hey.
Eridril talks to gourds and stuff. He makes friends with oranges. It's fine.
We are.
Okay.
We have to be careful going forward. We are drawing a lot of attention to ourselves on a large scale. For the common folk, they're hearing of us, Lux Et Umbra, as like these saviors, like rescuing kingdoms and solving disputes and things like that, and warning of a coming apocalyptic event, right? Although hopefully not so bad. These brochures, the conjunction in you, Cabrera, like all the friendly career stuff, like this is helping. But the enemies that we face, I mean, we've been lucky very recently. Like they've been sort of secluded. For example, the cult, right? They're not tapped into like the worldly stuff. They're just focused on their own goals. That's not going to be the case forever. And I think with Leovara the Dreamer, you got visions from things happening across the sea. Who's to say these same kinds of visions aren't happening for them, about us? Warnings about what we might be doing. We need to be very careful and not draw more attention to ourselves than necessary when operating, especially in Losyria. And you will be relying on you a lot, Reese, for this.
I am happy to be that, but also, oof, yeah.
I mean, no pressure.
That's why while I don't like going to my father for things, really good person to have knowledge from about what's going on when I haven't been. Me escaping from there was a challenge, and I think I'm hoping maybe he's grown to respect me since I was able to beat what he was able to do and make. And that was his baby, that wasn't me, but, you know. Anyway, inconspicuous is good. And that's why I especially was checking in on the horse situation.
After a short bit of finishing up your breakfast, Maris does come back and says, "Well, it has been done. The yacht is ready, and there are four pulling horses, as per your request."
Now, I also know that I've done some reading on... I've tried to study a bit about Osirian, but a lot of what I found is just very surface level. Like, it's a desert. A really big desert. Different terrains, but mostly dry. I know horses can traverse the desert, but I've heard of an animal called a camel that is very good at conserving its own water and is less quick than a horse, but can go longer distances without needing to stop and drink and rest and things like that.
Would Reese know automatically if there's camels in Osirian?
Yes, no need to roll for that. You absolutely are fully aware of camels, and yes, they are very great in the desert. Everything that you people know about camels, Reese knows about camels, yes.
Yeah, so Reese just relays, yeah, no, camels exist. Yep, we can ride them if we want. Sometimes some have one hump, sometimes some have two. So we could literally just ride as a party on two camels.
Yes, I bring that up only because getting there quick would be nice, but versus the line is not in alignment yet, so we aren't going to get turned around at least for another 2 months or so. I've got a scroll of teleport from Danny to get us back to here, which will be good when versus the line is in alignment. If we spend a lot of time in Osirian, we can
go
then
back home safe.
We don't have to worry about navigating, right? And the quicker we get back, the better. But getting there, I mean, we probably, again, don't want to draw attention. Moving quickly over the desert would draw a lot of attention, but moving more slowly and taking precautions, I think a better mount for that terrain would be a good idea.
Yeah, no, and camel's a good way. Like I said, 2 humps per camel. There's 4 of us. We'll be fine. And if anything, like, you know, it could be a nice rest for Khan to be on the head of a camel. Have some, like, mounting, like, it's gonna be great. Honestly, camels are great. They are pretty much what I was greeted with outside of the labyrinth, and it's how I got around. So I'm versed in camels.
So let's, with that sort of kind of game, and I think we want to get to Shadow Valley. We're probably gonna be at Shadow Valley for at least a little while to work on some stuff, to build things and like get ready. And then once we have our idea of how we're gonna get there, that's when we will depart.
Yeah.
Just as like a game plan.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm here.
Very well. So then Lord Maris walks you, let's see, grab a picture of Maris as well. One high. There we are. So Maris leads you up that stairwell.
Oh, heck, I accidentally closed out. Can you
Oh, that's fine. No, you don't need it anymore. But she takes you up the stairs in the throne room, up into what Zavid and Khan recognize as the personal bed chambers of King Arion. Danny does not use this bedroom as her own for clear reasons. But past there, behind you pull a specific book and a bookshelf swings back, and there's a secret hidden pathway down into the harbor. It was a quick escape for the king, essentially. But Maris takes you to the secret harbor beneath the throne room of Druma, and you can see there are several large battleships in here at the ready for if they need to move out at a moment's notice. But there is also the king's private yacht that, again, Zavid and Khan, you both recognize, and there appears to be 4 large horses standing on the deck.
All right.
as per your request.
Thank you. Maris is her name, right?
Yes, Lord Maris.
Lord Maris, you've been very accommodating.
Well, it is my job as steward of Druma.
We're glad for these resources we hate to impose on you. I don't know how much you overheard, but I'll share some of the revelations that the Wessels sort of shared with me, and just say, that crown of Druma, that's the bloodline. You are already charged with their protection, but definitely going forward, we will have to be very careful. We will do our
maintain
best.
vigilance.
Yes, at all times, and we will do our best to secure Danny's last sibling, her sister.
Yes, Sarunulia. I have not seen that child in, well, 100 years. She's very, very studious. Bit of a bookworm.
Yes. You wouldn't happen to have one last thing. I guess Sarenrae is a big deal in this city. You wouldn't happen to have like some Sarenrae clothes, some clerical stuff that I might be able to borrow.
Make him look a little less evil.
I want to look like a Sarenrae cleric. Yeah.
Yes, on each ship contains a chaplain of Sarenrae within the Druman army. So you should be able to find it within the quarters. There should be an outfit, a holy symbol, book.
Okay, and I kind of looked through my own stuff. I think I have like a Sarenrite or something like that, like healer's kit.
Medical kit, yeah, that healer's kit.
So, and I think also I'm wearing some of the dwarf like armor that was also Sarenrae inscribed, or like a scarf or something. I've got one of their things that was, yeah. So I'll just sort of like add to what I have, and just change into something that makes me look like I am a cleric of Sarenrae. And I know I can do this
religion
because
check in the tower instead of thievery or stealth or whatever.
Yeah. I know Cabri is fine with that because that's lying.
Yeah.
And he's cool with lying. He's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, lie. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're able to find some clothes. Some of them are a little bit big for you, but you're kind of weirdly proportioned anyway, so you just kind of bunch it up on your shoulder, pull it in, belt it at the hip. You make little alterations here and there to make it kind of work for you. And yeah, you do have I believe it's red and silver is her colors, if I'm not forgetting correctly, the garb of a cleric of Sarenrae. So for now, people who don't know you will assume you're a cleric of Sarenrae unless you give them reason to disbelieve that.
What if
and then they'll have to be able to roll
Sarenrae
against it.
Shirt?
I guess, may I make... so religion, I guess, determines just sort of like how I carry myself. But if I have to, would it be more accurate to say I'll have to do like performance to perform as a Sarenrae like cleric or something?
No,
I'm not,
because
okay.
And here's my explanation for why. You have, what is that? Schooled in Secrets?
Yes.
As far as you're concerned, the Church of Sarenrae is a cult.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of mileage out of that feat. I think that. Cool.
Yeah, so I will let you use religion for the purposes of pretending to be a person of a different religion, because that's what that's what that feat's for,
Or it's
just like
occultism, it says. Instead of...
Oh, occultism?
For secret societies and mystery cults and things like that. If I want to gather information or use diplomacy about such groups, I can use occult instead, is what it technically says. But if we want to twist it, we can twist it. That's up to you.
Yeah, I'm okay to twist it a little bit, because you've been focusing on religion instead of occultism.
Oh, and I did get the ritualist dedication with quick or like a versatile ritual or whatever, so I can use different skills for different things.
So yeah, I'm okay with that. For now, anyone who doesn't know you will think that you're a cleric of Sarenrae. And the two of you also, you see, as you're getting onto the boat, getting your bearings, you see Zavid come out of the the bosun's quarters, wearing the cloth of Sarenrae. You recognize it because it's the kind of stuff Demirius used to wear.
You look rather holy.
Oh, do I? Does it fit me? And I'm doing some posing.
Your girlish charm never ceases to stop. Yes, of course, you look lovely. If I didn't know you personally, I would kiss you. You look that stunning. Like
Oh,
good
thank you.
painting.
If I didn't know you, I'd let you officiate my wedding.
There's two types of people in this world.
I'm a little offended you won't let me officiate your wedding. Anyway, I can still do that under Cabreri. It's fine.
I have to talk to Bas about that and whatever god Mythanar follows, but you are in the books for me personally.
I appreciate that. This is good. I'm really glad Demirius is not here because with a Wander in alignment, I am not safe.
Oh my god, is there some
Next to
form
him.
of like camera or painting or something we could do real quick?
No, there's not, and I'm not even going to check to see if there is because I don't want to believe that.
So then, in that case, Reese is going to just take a scroll out of his pouch, take a pencil and draw a really shitty drawing of a holy-looking Zavid, and just give.
God.
He's gonna run off the boat and go over to what's her face? I forgot her name. Leanne.
Maris.
Give this to Danny, and there's a little arrow that says Zavid, and you can see Sarah Ray's like everything. And tell her she can share this with Demirius if she wants, but this is mainly for Danny's pleasure. Okay, bye! And he runs back up the ship.
And I could like
Yes,
see
sir.
what you're doing, and I'm like, maybe it'll work in my benefit. Maybe Demirius will think I finally came over to the Serenray side. Maybe it's actually okay. I don't know. I'm not gonna think about it.
I'm loving that this chapter is sort of becoming like the lying, deceiving, thieving chapter.
It's the expertise of the ranger rogue and the rogue witch.
And come on, Shane is Zavid's essentially a warlock.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, thematically, he's actually starting to feel a little bit like self-conscious, and so he's like, I'm gonna go do something. He's gonna go up to like up here. And as like the sailors are getting everything ready and they're about to set sail, I'm gonna look up at the like near the sun, not at the sun and like burn my eyes out, but I'm gonna be like, all right, this will be a first. Serenray, if you can hear me, I am breaking some anathema for you about lying and things like that. I'm not your cleric though, so I'm not beholden to your codes. However, I hope you understand that this is for a greater good we can all agree on. You've already had to deal with my bullshit up to this point. I've had to do some things you probably would not have condoned Demirius doing or any of your followers, but I ask you politely that you do not strike me down while I masquerade as one of your followers, for I do it for a good cause. And I kind of don't want to do it. Anyway, I'm not having fun doing this. I'm actually rather scared. So if you can see past this and just let me do my thing, I promise this will work out for all of us in the end. And that's it. I do this knowing full well that Cabrer's probably listening in on this prayer. Knowing that I'm doing this to cover my ass. This isn't because I like Serenray. This is because I don't want to be struck down.
You say that at the back of the ship, and it's pretty early still, so the sun is just beginning to peek over the horizon. And as you finish saying your odd pseudo prayer to Serenray, the sun does peek out from behind a cloud. And at the same time, it passes behind a metal pillar on the dock, and you become wreathed in shadow, but there's sunlight all around you. And then it passes.
And I just think internally, like, why are gods so fucking cryptic? Why can't they just say what they mean? I have to fucking read the oracle bones and shit. I just, in my head, I'm like, but then I'm like, I'll let that pass. Like, thank you. And then
I think.
Yeah, and then I like walk or walk. I was fully expecting as like a sort of like, oh, it's fine, but let me just do one little thing and like give me a sunburn, like right on the spot, like there you go. Okay, but you can go ahead. Sort of like a little spiteful type of thing. But I'm glad that that didn't happen.
That would have been funny too.
That would have been kind of funny. All right, okay, I'm done role
A
playing that.
sunburn
I
in the
just
shape of Cabriri on your cheek or something.
half of Zavid's roleplay is just him trying not to get killed by more powerful things. That's
Yeah.
a lot of his thing, is just trying to cover his ass one way or another.
Self-preservation, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as you finish that, you begin to join your allies. The sailors yell out, "All aboard!" and they pull the anchor. They begin to drift the yacht back out of the harbor. And I think this is a good place to take a short intermission. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
I think
Quick
so.
break?
Yeah,
All
I
right,
could do
fantastic.
Yeah.
that.
Yep. Hope
I think
everyone will
yeah.
join us in 10ish minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
10 minutes sounds
we'll
good.
Be, yeah, we'll be right back. See you in a bit.
And we're back.
Hello,
We're on
everybody.
a boat.
All right, are we actually back?
Yes, we are.
Oh, I
Fantastic.
accidentally closed. Can someone open the map for me again? I
got
closed
you.
the wrong map by accident.
No problem.
'Cause I had both open. Thank you.
Well, we're back, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. When last we left off, Lux Et Umbra had just set off from the royal harbor of the city of Druma on the royal yacht, headed back down the Konerica River to the city of Duskpawn, which is where they can get a carriage and go on land from there. Well, we come back on the deck of the Royal Druman yacht with Zavid, I believe, is the one who was going to do something with these horses. You had requested to bring several horses aboard because you wanted to attempt something for science.
Yes. Okay. All right. I gotta open up a little thing here. Let's see. I believe divine. Yeah, water walk is a divine spell. I'm almost. Yep, it is.
Oh yeah.
Now let's take a look here. Heightened at 4. Spells range increases to 30 feet. As well, because it's 2 below my max.
That's correct.
I'm going to cast. I guess this is a big ship, and we got 4 horses here. What just happened? Did I close out of it a second time?
Here, I got you.
All I did was right click.
If you
Okay,
right click,
yeah.
there's a button that closes.
Yeah, I right clicked and then went up, and then when I right clicked again to check what had happened, I'm like, oh, there's a big X. That's what happened.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I would get some help from some of the sailors and any other party members that want to help me out with this experiment here, to tie up these 4 horses, harnessed like a carriage, to the front of the ship, and then let them down in some like lifeboats on the sides, and I would water walk myself and whoever else wants to help us bring these horses to the front. Once they get used to the fact that they're standing on water and not sinking, I think they would imagine, oh, it's like solid ground, and they would just start to pull like it would be a carriage.
I want you to describe how this spell looks when you cast it, because your magic's always weird.
It is.
What would this look like casting the spell on these horses? And and speaking of, who all would want to join him, if anyone? At least one sailor definitely jumps at the opportunity.
Yeah, anyone who wants to help can help. Up to 10, so the 4 horses, then myself, then Khans. That's 4 more creatures can benefit from this for an hour if they want.
Bragg will join you, but only one sailor is willing to take the try.
That's totally right.
We're a bit of a superstitious bunch. We don't really trust those magics on our boat. But we were told.
Don't worry, I am a cleric of Saren Ray.
Oh,
so
I guess they
can't you tell?
Enough. Yeah.
Look at me. Look how I'm dressed. Come on. And then as I cast the spell, it's clear like my shadow extends outward to each of your feet. The shadow beneath you begins to look a little bit darker, as if it's like solidifying in some way. And none of you really feel any difference. But once we start to then get lowered from the lifeboats into the water, that shadow almost, it's like you're not stepping on the water, you're stepping on your own shadow above the water, like it has solidified to give you a surface. Since this is a moving river, the ground is kind of moving, so it might take all of you a little bit of time, and like maybe if some of you fall over, you fall, but again, your shadow protects you, so you don't get submerged. It's like even your hands go on the water, and then eventually you get your sea legs, and I imagine that's how that would happen. I'm just narrating based on how I think like that sort of magic would manifest itself.
I like that quite a lot. And so you're able to get the horses down into the lifeboats, casting the spell, casting it on everyone, and your shadows all seem particularly dark. And once the horses get over their initial fear of putting their trotters up on this water and not falling in, they begin, as you say, to slowly step onto it. And after a bit of coaxing, well, give me nature checks in the tower, all 3 of you, actually.
Of course,
Let's see.
There's one I don't call for ever.
nature? I mean, I'm not trained
Actually,
in
no,
nature.
he's
I do
actually
unnatural
trained in
things. I don't
nature.
know what's natural.
Actually, Reese is. Whoops.
Yeah, actually, Zavid, you're the one who manages to coax these horses into doing it.
You're kidding me. I have
You
only a
rolled a nat
plus
20.
5.
You rolled a nat 20.
Oh my god,
my
another nat
God.
20.
Reese rolled numerically higher than you, but you got a nat 20, so you got it.
I'm doing it, but I keep
I'm
looking to
helping.
Reese. I'm
Yeah.
looking at
There you
Reese
go.
as I do
We're-
it because I
we're-
don't know what I'm doing. I'm like,
Okay, now you do this. It's okay. And I'm just like petting the horse, like it's fine. And if you don't pet the mane right now, he's gonna bite you. So you need to. There we go. Okay,
I start
continue.
doing
You're doing
it.
good. You're doing great.
It's just nerve-wracking. I imagine you were going to do it, but then you saw I just was like on it, and you were like,
Yeah,
okay,
Let's
all
see
right,
what
you
you
can
can
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I trust.
However, with the two of you kind of discussing this, you don't really notice Khan. You're kind of having a little bit of trouble. If you look in the Discord, you're having a bit of trouble with your horse because it doesn't seem to really like being on the water that much. So please give me a reflex save.
Trouble with the trolley.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, in my
in the
head.
Tower Republic.
Public, please.
Trouble with the
You'll know
ball.
immediately if you fail or succeed.
And I say that most loving light.
Actually, yeah, Khan, you do fall off your horse, and as Zavid describes, your shadow, it's as though you fell on ice. You land on your shadow hard next to your horse.
My tail.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Don't sprain
Yeah.
it.
Look, this is I'm starting to realize too another spell that's going to be really useful, another cantrip that I have on my list called Tame, and it makes domesticated animals 1 level more friendly to you. With Abalon the horse on the horizon, this is going to be really useful to make sure our camels and shit aren't getting crazy with us.
True.
So I'm gonna help out, I guess. Just try to make sure that we're able to get this going.
Perfect.
Can I make a check to help or something? Or
Yeah, you could make like since it's your spell, you could do a religion to see if like your shadows can help her up.
okay.
Yeah, you have enough feats with your. Don't you have like essentially a mage hand feat that makes your shadows somewhat solid? I thought you had
Let's
a thing.
see.
that
Let's
was like
look
that.
at the many feats I have from
You have
playing Pathfinder.
weird feats.
I always love
I-
that guy.
I know.
I
right?
have Clever Shadow, which allows me to perform simple interactions with my shadow, such as opening an unlocked door, anything within my reach. And then I believe I also have Hefting Shadow, maybe?
Hmm?
I think I had Shadow Sight, but then you said that I had another thing that replaced it.
You have greater dark vision.
Yeah, so I think it's not on here, but I replaced Shadow Sight with Hefting Shadow, which allows me
I
to
would
lift
say,
things
yeah,
with my shadow, and
then-
I can keep things. It's like a little extra dimensional space. I could put stuff in my shadow.
So yeah, you'd be able to help Khan up, no problem. With that roll and that feat, you can definitely help Khan back up on the horse.
Yeah, you
So
see
you-
the shadow comes out of the water.
Thank you, Zavid.
Okay, so you're able to get back up, and after a while, you guys can move yourselves, but it does slowly be able. They are pulling. Whoops, that turned out weird. that turned out weird. I
Yeah,
can
you
fix
turned
it.
them all individually.
I
but
turned
not
them
as, like, a whole
individually.
unit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There we go.
Reason, wow. Sorry, Frag are just, out there.
Yes, there we go. So you're making your way down the river, and eventually you get to a place that's a little bit of cavernous. And can I get everyone to give me a perception check, please, in the tower?
Yeah. Perception.
Okay.
Khan, after you got the hang of riding around on this horse, you've been looking around, taking in the sights. As I said earlier, it's been a big, beautiful spring morning. It's warm. The sun is out. and from the east to your off to your left in those little caverns, your eyes catch the motion of something, and it catches your eyes, and you look, and slowly you see the figure of something flapping coming out towards you, and you look at it for a moment, and after a short moment, you see it's carrying a white flag. It's a harpy coming straight at all of you, carrying a big white flag.
Yes, I remember these.
I'll wave over and not take out my crossbow.
She begins to wave the white flag at you and comes swooping down and next to the horses, and she says,
Welcome back. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Fine steeds have you. What brings you to Cornerica?
We return to our humble abode of Shadow Valley. We're trying something new here with the horses.
It's science.
Science. Looks like magic to me. Wanted to thank you for moving our hunting grounds to the east. Much more fertile than we had known. Far more prey than here along the river. We have left alone the people of Truma, and it has helped us greatly. Wanted to just thank you.
Can I make a check?
Sure.
About harpies, about what I know of them, and the literally core taxonomy of what they're considered.
Arcana.
That would be Arcana. Okay.
I think. Let me double check.
Are they a natural creature? Because maybe
I don't
that'd be
know.
nature.
It's a great question. Let me double check. It's one or the other. They're. Oh yes, it is nature, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not sure here.
Okay. Yeah. What are you trying to kind of figure out here about the harpies?
As sapient creatures, are they considered beasts, or are they considered
They're human.
They're humanoid. They're not like animals.
No.
Okay.
They are like humanoids.
Okay. All right. That's it. That's all I needed to know.
Okay,
Because I was thinking they're talking about hunting and prey, and I'm like, is Abalon the horse gonna make them crazy? But if they're humanoids, I imagine they would be exempt from that effect.
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate. If they were beasts, that would be a good thing to think of. But yeah, they're humanoid.
I'll just warn them then. I'll say we're glad to be back. Just so you know, the conjunction is beginning to take place. You may have noticed some strange happenstances. One that you will definitely notice soon is Abalon the horse's conjunction. The beasts of the forest, prey will get more territorial. Predators will kill more than they need to survive. And scavengers will not wait for things to be dead before they start eating. Your prey might be a little bit more difficult to hunt, so take some precautions.
Appreciate the heads up. Yes. We'll be careful on our hunts. Double the team size.
That's all Zavid had to say.
Anything else anyone wants with Manola?
Nah, just wish them well.
Wish you well. Please continue on.
And she flies away with her little white flag. So, continuing on, making your way down this river, the rest is essentially nothing much else happens, but eventually your magic does wear out, Zavid, and you will have to.
I have time sense now, so I will know exactly when, and then I'll recast it at 4th level.
Okay.
I'll use spell slots to keep it going for a few hours, maybe 2 more times, because I have 3 of those slots now.
Sure,
Sorry.
perfect.
No, I do have 4 slots. I'll use. Let me re-speak that. I'll cast it for 3 hours, so 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll take the horses back, just to see how much more time, how much faster we are, going down this river with, steeds pulling us rather than just floating.
Between the steeds pulling you and the sailors up on the decks being able to work the rigging and go with the wind and all that, it has sped you up quite a bit. So you're only have to cast it twice. You don't actually need to cast it full 3 times between the two. If it was one or the other, it would have taken more like 3 hours. But between the two working together, it cut time off the trip.
Okay.
So let me see here. Where is there? It is. Eventually, you do come to the quiet city of Duskpond. You've been here once or twice before in your trips in between Druma and Shadow Valley. The people at the dock and the sailors know to just take the ship, the yacht back to the castle. No problem there. And here is where you're going to probably need to get yourselves a carriage, horses, that kind of thing. So can I get everyone to give me a society in the tower, please? Just to kind of like ask around.
I would like to use my society to help whoever has the high society
Cool.
of the other two.
It'll probably be me.
It'll probably be Reese, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Reese, you're able to no problem ask around town using your charms, using your wiles to figure out where the nearest, cheapest, best stable is, and with very little issue. And as you're walking down the streets with your roll, Reese, it was quite high, and with Zavid helping, you are hearing people whisper things like, "Oh well, little Johnny is just doing wonderful at his mage school studies. Oh, it was just the damnedest thing. The other day I was riding down my horse and I saw a tree just spontaneously catch on fire." You hear these odd little things that you're hearing, and it's making you go, "Huh?" But just little weird conversations you're overhearing bits of. But eventually
With the
you
knowledge
do
of what Savid has told me, would Reese make any connections?
roll a religion in the tower for me.
Okay.
Because I know Elliot's making a connection, but I don't know if Reese would. No, you make no connection. It's
Reese
just a
would
very,
fucking know.
it's very strange. You're hearing weird. You're just hearing scuttlebutt, water cooler talk, just as you're passing people on the street.
So
When
he's
you
not
catch
making much of
7
it.
seconds of a conversation, and you're like, "That was weird." What the hell were they talking about? Yeah, it's a lot of that, but just weird stuff. But eventually, you do manage to get yourselves to a stable, and yeah, a human man comes up and says, "Oh yeah, good morning to you. Well, what can I do for you? You need your horse."
Oh no, we have horses. We actually need a place to keep them.
And
Oh,
do you sell carriages by any chance?
Absolutely. We definitely have carriages. We can sell you one for sure. They run about 20 gold apiece.
and you would know that's going to be the best price you're going to find here.
Yeah, I'm also like, David doesn't understand economics, so he hears that and thinks like, is that, I don't know if that's really cheap. Like, this guy should be charging more for his carriages or not. Like 20 gold feels like not a lot, but then I'm like, I've never really had to work like a regular job. I don't know if that's a lot or not.
That's all internal, like Zavid, right?
Yeah, he's just looking really confused and doesn't understand anything. He's looking very lost. Sorry.
And so the guy is kind of wheeling and dealing with you, considering he sees that you're the most confused. He's trying to like sell you this carriage, and he's trying to add on a couple of extra horses on top. He's trying to upsell you essentially.
Yeah, we got the finest mares in the Dry County area.
Oh no, we got ours. We don't need more. We're good though. Don't worry.
All right.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
next time. Good.
I've worked the stables. I've been a stable boy. I know these
Tell him
things.
Slick Jimmy sent you.
I will.
Let's see. Now, I've been waiting. This is gonna be fun. I'm excited for this. It's gonna be stupid. Who's at the reins of the carriage? It's usually Demirius or David.
Yeah.
I'll go if no one else wants to.
Cornwall? Okay. So you get yourselves situated in the carriage. You get your horses hooked up that you took from the yacht that you brought with yourself from Druma. Save you some time and some money. You head out. By this point, you kind of know the way between complete Duskpond and Shadow Valley. So you're clomping down the road, and you come to a relatively familiar bridge. It's a stone bridge that crosses a somewhat wide river. It's not very deep, but it's quick flowing. Has that map loaded for everyone?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it.
Great, great. So as you're coming up close to this bridge, you see that there's a small stone hut next to it, a little building, and the small wooden door. Hmm? Oh yeah. Let's see. So the small wooden door opens up, and out steps a massive ogre with a helmet on, and he is holding in his hands a long spear, and he has the emblem of the Kingdom of Druma upon his massive leather belt. He says, "Oi, hey, we've got the toll bridge with Shadow Man and the Bloody One. What are you doing here?
Smush, stop! It's been too long.
Oh, come here!" And he kind of picks you up with like 2 fingers and like daintily like hugs you like this. Like he's being extremely careful. Actually, it's major stuff now. When after the coronation, the captain of the guard brought me into the military. I'm a major now because of what we've done.
That
Hey,
is so good to hear.
can you introduce me to your friend? And I look at Frag and I look at you guys like, I don't know this guy.
Actually, you saw him at coronation.
I don't
I'll show you.
remember if we interacted though.
You did not interact, but you would have
Uh-uh.
seen him dressed like this.
Oh my god, I remember this guy!
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He was
and
wearing a
then
huge top hat and bow tie with a cane.
So then Reese
Yeah.
just goes, wait, hold on. Oh, you're missing the top hat. Hey, how's it going?
I imagine that's how he refers to it. You don't remember? Like, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Go. Well, I've been doing great. How about you? Where are you off to?
Oh, we're heading back to Shadow Valley, actually.
Oh, it's so nice this time of year. Glad to hear it. As you know, Lux Et Umbra never has to pay my toll bridge. You can go on whenever you want. But it's so good to see you. It tends to be bad tidings when you come to town, though. They're bad news.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Okay, so I just need, and I relay, I'm like, how common is, and he tells him what the weird shit he heard passing through was like. Like, is that
Planes catching on
common?
fire,
Yeah, like, that's-
magic students suddenly getting a whole lot better.
It's weird, right? Or is that normal?
I've been hearing weird things lately, yeah. Anyone going up to the Mage Academy, the wizard place, there's been lots of new students as of late.
That would be, and I like looking at you, like the messenger. I think is definitely hitting. Is there any? I heard the one about the tree spontaneously catching fire, but we have not seen any forest fires. Are people reporting things that seem to be maybe illusions or hallucinations or something that might not be real, but they're just seeing things?
Oh, that's possible, I suppose. Most people, when they see fire, they run. I don't really check to see if it's hot, do you?
Usually you can feel it, like even
It's
from a
big enough
distance, a big
fire,
fire. Yeah.
I suppose.
Well, I guess there are going to be some tough times ahead, Smush Stuff, and we really appreciate all the help that you've given us. Even though when we first met, we weren't on friendly terms, I'm really glad to call you a friend now.
Oh, thank you, Shadow Man. I appreciate all my friends. I was kind of a jerk when we met, but I wasn't getting paid in chickens every week like I am now. I got me a pension. That's what they calls it.
Honestly, it's something I've also had to learn. Cooperation gets you more rewards than just taking what you want. It's very nice.
More chickens for more help. It's great.
And it's
whatever-
easier, right? All you have to do is just chill out. You don't have to do much of anything.
I'm finding that this rugged individualism, pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing is kind of a mystery and an oxymoron. And after he says that, he kind of looks like he just gave himself a stroke saying those words. Whoa! Everything just tastes purple for a second.
I'm gonna tell him not to tell our Who is the Abadar ogre? What was his name?
Glaric.
Glaric, because I know that they talked a little bit. I'll be like, don't tell Glaric that. He loves that stuff.
Oh yeah, he really likes the bean counting, don't he? He like them little coiny things. I just prefer to get paid in chickens. I don't like them coins. They're too small for my fingers.
Honestly, I actually 100% agree. And I'm just thinking about my own dragon sickness stuff. I'm like, I would rather have chickens too.
Can everyone give me a perception check in the tower, please?
Sure.
Okay. As you're having this conversation, Zavid, you're kind of looking past, Smush, as you're having this conversation. And across the river, you see like a young robed woman who's kind of looking. She's got like a little creature on her arm, and she's carrying a walking stick, and she's like talking at this creature, having a conversation with it, walking and walking. As she's absent-mindedly talking with this creature, she walks straight off the side of this pillar here and into the water. Swoosh.
That's weird.
And suddenly she realizes that she's fallen. Help!
Ugh.
What was that?
Hold on, we're coming. And I kind of look at you two like, do you want me to help her? Or you got
you
it?
said that you're coming, so like.
Fine. Like walk over to the side. How deep is that water? Is she like actually like struggling to stay aloft, or?
It's not super deep. It's just hard to stand up. It's only about 3 or 4 feet. It's just quick moving.
I'm going to. What do I have actually? Can I handle this with a spell?
Possibly. Probably. You have a ton. You have a
If
weird
I can
kit.
just look, if I can solve an easy problem
Can you
with
water
a
walk
high-level
her?
spell slot, I'd rather do that because it's funner.
Just give her cast water walk. There we go. You can walk.
Honestly, yeah, I'll cast water walk because I've been practicing that lately anyway. So
Yes.
Perfect. So as she's kind of tumbling through under this bridge, pretend that she went under it, and she'll kind of hit against this rock and and then suddenly she's just sitting on the surface of the water. It's just that was amazing. What? She kind of bounces up and down a little on the astounding. Truly astounding.
Why don't you go up that slope and come across the bridge? That might be better.
Yes. And she crawls across the water with her shadow being solid and holding her to the place. And she eventually walks up here, and I do have a image of her now that she's here. But imagine this person soaking wet. You see a young human woman wearing gray traveling clothes with a pointy gray hat. She has a wooden staff with a little bit of a gem on the tip of it. And floating around her is a flying raccoon with smoke at its feet and the tip of its tail.
Sorry.
All I can-
Inhuman Noises loves raccoons.
all I could think of is my friend Cheeky. Just go, hey, what's up?
You know what? I like it. That's the voice. I hadn't decided for it yet. She says, "Oh, sorry about that. Thank you for helping me. My name is Rabin the Rad, and this is my friend Blamfeld.
I'm sorry, the rad or the red?
The Rad.
Like
The
radical
magic. Yes.
Oh,
My radical powers.
What kind of magic do you do? And
Uh,
Reese sees all like the mist, so they're kind of like.
oh, point of order before we get into this very intriguing conversation. If you're crossing this bridge, you have to pay a toll to Smush stuff.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. Where's my head today? I'd lose it if it weren't screwed onto my body or my neck.
And she walks over to Smush and she hands him over the proper toll and comes back and she says,
And I
Thank you
assume
for
we just
reminding
paid
me.
him anyway already.
she says,
Sorry about all that. Thank you. I was just so scatterbrained lately. Thank you for helping me. I don't know why I wasn't paying any attention.
What kind of magic do you do again?
Oh, well, a bit of this and that. I can conjure the elements.
and she kind of does like an over dramatic flourish, and out of her hand you see kind of a little fire. Like, it's really unimpressive. And then,
I can command the animals.
and a little squirrel is running by on the floor, and she kind of does a thing and it just sits like a dog, and
Mhm.
so she thinks she's got this you magical cosmic power. But it took, for you guys, it's really unimpressive.
Oh,
That is very
nice.
impressive.
Thank you. Yes, soon
That
the
is
world will
definitely
know
not of the
my
arcane, is it?
radical magics. Well, yes, it is. I do practice the arcane, and the raccoon says, yes, mainly from the arcane traditions. I teach her what I know. I have learned many things in my travels. Blamfeld, yes, Blamfeld. And he raises a paw and waves to all of you.
Reese bends down and shakes his paw. Great to meet you, sir. And
Yes,
stands back
thank
up.
you, thank you.
So, are you new to magic? This is a...
Yes, is it that obvious?
Well, we've heard of a lot of new students to the mage school nearby, and we have reason to believe ourselves that new people capable of using magic are starting to crop up in higher numbers for the next few months.
I see. I come from the fishing town of Hogan's Ear. I kind of ran away because I destroyed 3 fishing boats on accident. But I hope that the Mages University can help me control myself.
As a
I'm sure that they
runaway,
will.
I respect it.
Yeah, I'm sure that they will help. As a little bit of advice, we're very accomplished in what we do as well, a little bit of magic as well. And I guess I have my staff or whatever, so it kind of looks, and I've got the rows.
You have the
Yeah, so.
pamphlets with you?
Oh, I do. Oh. I look to Reese, I'm like, thank you. I go, so. I noticed you didn't see the bridge. You're going to have a lot of trouble in the coming months noticing things that you were otherwise better at paying attention to. You'll feel a little more absent-minded, more focused on learning, but you'll sort of tune out the outside world. I would recommend just try to be more aware of things.
Your
try to be.
animal gifts will come in handy very soon, though.
Okay, that's
Your-
great sage advice.
Your companion here, Blamfeld, you said?
Yes, Blamfeld. Yes, well, good to meet you, a fellow user of the magics.
Yes, you might have to be her eyes and ears sometimes. Right now, there's some astronomical phenomena happening that's making it so that more magical users are starting to learn of their gifts. But the downside is that they get very focused on it and they're not very aware of their surroundings. So
Being like a seeing eye trash panda of sorts.
Yes, that explains many things. You see, Rabin here is. You seem to be versed in the magic's arts. She is what is known as a sorcerer of the imperial blood. Somewhere in her family was a powerful mortal arcane user. We have yet to discover where or whom.
sorcerer, I've not met another sorcerer. I am also a sorcerer of the Shadow bloodline. Though you can probably tell by looking at me, it's definitely a heritage thing.
I see. Fascinating. Yes, we have not run across many sorcerers in our short time together. Is that right, Rabin? Yes, it's wonderful to meet you. And she goes to shake your hand.
Yeah, I do. But like, Safid's not good at handshakes. He's got the like wet fish handshake, and then his arm is like shadowy, so it's like this. And, yeah, like I'm not used to handshakes, sorry, but are you headed toward the mage school?
Yes, I was hoping to apply. It was either that or deal with the consequences of destroying 3 boats.
Fair enough.
Why don't
and
come
you
with
said-
us?
Do you want to invite her with us?
Yeah.
It's probably a bad choice. This is like a level 1 sorcerer.
Yeah.
I was like,
Zavid can talk Reese out of it. It's fine.
yeah,
We're kind of going in opposite directions,
Oh,
you see. So
I don't
she-
know this place. I'm sorry. I'm new here.
it's all right. If things weren't as we're in a bit of on a time crunch, some important things we have to take care of. dangerous things too. Otherwise, we'd invite you to come visit us in Etron's Folly, a town nearby.
I've heard of
Very
that town,
nice
yes.
place. Yes. But since you're looking to gain some more mastery of your powers, let me give you some brochures here. These are I'm not trying to, proselytize these, but they, like I said, there's some.
Saviti might be coming on a little strong. You don't want to.
I say out loud, I know I am, but I know like we're in a hurry. She's in a hurry, and I want to make like I guess a diplomacy check maybe, just to kind of make this come over like not so forceful, I suppose. But like,
Can I help him with that?
Sure. Yeah. Roll a public diplomacy, Reese. You just need a 20 to aid. You do not aid, but you don't hinder.
Do I have a hero point?
Yes.
Oh right, yeah, I could use a hero
Everyone
point.
does,
I'll use a hero
All
point
right.
and re-roll that. Don't waste yours. This is a
Okay.
roleplay day.
Yeah, you need a 6 to aid.
7!
And a
Yay!
7. Yes, so you can go ahead and take a +1 on that.
Okay. Can I cast guidance on myself and give
Yes,
myself another
absolutely.
+1?
Yes.
All right. Here we go, because I'm not trained in diplomacy at
Oh
all.
no.
Research, don't
Oh,
worry.
you know what? Let me put a little 2 on here. That way.
Yeah, the +2.
All right. Please roll high.
Not great. Not great.
Hero point.
All right. Okay.
I know it's not the best use of a hero point,
Roll it
probably.
up. Yep. You rolled a natural 19.
Woo.
So, you are actually quite persuasive. What are you trying to say?
I am just gonna give her some general information about the conjunction. It's a once in several thousand year phenomena. The last time this happened, like, there were wars, gods were getting involved. Things are probably gonna go down for each one. And in the pamphlet, it goes over each step of the conjunction, what that means. And there's a big section on the ones that have to deal with magic, and I skip to that part right there. And there's like a little chibi Kabiri like explaining things, and like
Chibiri.
Chibiri, yeah.
Should be
And I say, this is most likely, I mean, you probably always had a magical skill, but this is probably the spark that allowed you to discover your own inborn skills here.
Yes, it was very recent.
As you can see, there's a lot of connections between these astronomical things and what is happening. Now, let me be clear. It doesn't mean that, like, your will's not your own or some crazy thing like that. I'm not saying that, but you might find there are days when you don't go outside. You're just stuck in a book and you can't help but absorb everything you're reading. Or maybe you're got all these ideas whizzing in your head about how to combine the effects of two spells, and so you're just, charting out idea, like, you'll get hyper focused, and it could be to the detriment of like things going around you, just like practical stuff. I think the people in the Mage College, if you give these not only to other students, but give them to your professors and stuff, tell them who we are. We're the Lux Et Umbra, a group from Shadow Valley. We've been traveling around, and I mean, some of our deeds are in the pamphlet. You can read it on your own. But
Thank you.
we've had what were it was Corvosa, Druma. Was there another kingdom that we got there? I mean, Wyvern's thing, I guess.
Elidir.
So I cite these kingdoms as like condoning like what we've been doing, and so, yeah. And
on
so
page
like
8, you can see our qualifications, our references.
Oh wow, quite a lengthy list of references here.
And there's
I
even
didn't-
more we haven't been able to add.
Amazing.
Belson is another one on there. It's wild.
this is just so, because I mean, I'm asking you to do extra work here to hand these out. That's kind of, I want you to know we're on the up and up. We're legitimate. I'm not just some quack handing out pamphlets. I can't get to everybody and teach them about what is going to be happening in the next few months.
This isn't Dr.
so-
Boz.
Right.
I will do my best to get these passed around the campus.
Yeah, and then people don't, if they think it's a load of hogwash, that's sort of on them. They don't have to believe it. But those who will, I mean, you can make preparations and stuff going forward. It's just helpful.
Especially the
I will.
magic school.
Thank you. I have been really scatterbrained lately, and as you said, I've been diving into my books and having long talks with Blamfeld here about magic and where it comes from. And I don't know. I thought it was just a new, as you said, a new spark of interest.
Yes, it for the next few, I mean, take advantage. You know, these next few months, you're going to be learning more than you'll probably at a quicker pace than ever before. Because after the conjunction, after all the dust has settled, you know, your old personality traits will start to be more prominent. I don't know how well studied you were before then, but it might be harder to learn new things. So do everything you can. You know, learn as much as you can.
Don't take offense when Blemfield tells you to dial it back. There's probably something going on.
And I look to Blamfield, I'm like, and remind her to eat, okay?
And drink water.
And drink water and sleep when it is time to sleep. She'll need those reminders.
Yes, thank you very much. I will do my best to remind her of all of these things. Yes, we appreciate this.
You know what? Let me. I feel generous. Let me see if I have a scroll. If I have a small. What's a scroll of unreasonable squall? What is that?
You got that in the Druid Hermitage as like a quest reward or something.
No,
that was the gnome skeleton you found at the apple orchards in Aberton before the Druids.
Aberton?
Yeah, that was after the circus.
What does unreasonable squall do? It doesn't give me like a link to the spell when I open it up on my inventory.
I will find it.
Because it could be useful, but I also thought maybe like I could...
Unseasonable squall, not unreasonable. You issue a blast of sudden wind that ripples outward from the center of the burst. The wind extinguishes small non-magical fires, disperses fog and mist, scatters objects with light bolts over less, and pushes unsecured objects, blah, 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 blah. Each medium or smaller creature in the area when you cast or that moves into the spell must attempt a fortitude save, or they're knocked prone, or get hit with bludgeoning damage and fall prone.
Oh, I see. It can clear poisonous gases, vapors, fog, mist, and sandstorm stuff too?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh. Damn. That's actually kind of useful.
I'm just gonna go through my pouch. I still have a little bit of rock candy, and I toss it over. For the road.
I got
Blamfeld grabs it. And he's just start looking at it and turn around his paws.
Homemade rock candy.
I know to give her. All right, I won't give her that, but I'll pull out from back when we did the festival, the LGBT festival, way back when. I ended up picking up a wand I have seldom used called the Wand of Fear, but it's only like first level fear, so I haven't really had much use for it. I produced that and I say, you know, I received this wand a while back. It is enchanted with the first level spell Fear, but as you might learn soon, wands can be upgraded, altered. It's not really my style. I kind of like this staff a bit more. Perhaps you might be able to use this just for good intent. Don't use that fear to do anything morally questionable.
Wow, thank you. And she takes it and is kind of looking at it, and it accidentally points at it herself, and it goes off, and she goes, oh god, I shouldn't do that,
I just spell magic. I have it prepped. I just spell magic. I go, please be careful with that.
Yes, away from the face.
And hopefully Blamfeld sees me cast that and go, oh, so they're not lying. Okay.
Yes. Thank you for this. I truly appreciate it. And she tucks it away in her robes.
Yes, sorry. It is a bit of a powerful thing, but you'll be learning, I'm sure, how different magical items work, scrolls, things like that. This is just something for you to tinker with on your own. Just be careful not to, you know.
Yeah. Don't look down the front.
Mind affecting stuff can cause a lot of issues in your life, so be very careful with that.
I appreciate all of the advice.
We're here to look out for you. We know you're a good egg, and honestly, your familiar is a raccoon, so I trust that.
We have we have an affinity for, I would say, creatures of a rodent persuasion,
Very big
and similar
bias.
taxonomies.
As you say that, Con, your rat kind of crawls out of your cloak and waves. Well, I guess I should be back on the road again. Thank you so much.
After you've done your studies, look us up, Shadow Valley. If you ever want further tutelage, or if you ever need our services for something.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. Bye now. And she waves
safe
as she
travels.
walks
Goodbye.
down the road with her stick.
That was adorable.
It was very sweet, and I hope that she doesn't bite off more than she can chew. Maybe that wand might help scare off potential enemy or something.
Well, she just did walk into a body of water, so hopefully, your spell lasts what, an
Yeah.
hour?
I feel bad. I was like, you need this more than me.
If her spell lasts about an hour and she walks into more water, she'll be fine until she gets to the Magic Academy, so it's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's
You
fine.
helped out, Zabid. You did a good. Don't tell Cabreri.
You can know, it's fine.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
Cabreri,
what's-
listen, I can tell you this. This is not a secret, but one of Cabreri's tenets is not to share secrets about his sort of like, I guess, not like domain, but I guess
Purview?
sort of like divine domain. Purview, yes. What he has power over. It's sort of like the secrets of undeath, right? I know a lot about it, but there's only so much I'm allowed to talk about. The really juicy stuff, I can't share. That's only for people who are in the fold, quote unquote, right? So like, doing a good act, Caprari doesn't really care about that as long as I'm not like giving away his stuff, like the tricks of the trade, as it were.
Sorry, my god is like cat-shaped. So, we all have different deity things,
Yeah,
and
they're all
Cabreri I know is
different.
a little bit on the evil side, so...
Oh yeah, no, he's evil. He's
Oh.
very not a nice guy, but he's also like, he's not a liar either. He,
yes.
like he's very honest about what he wants, and so when you know what he wants, it's easy to work with him, in my experience.
Con, your familiar, kind of comes out of your cloak and sort of pipes up and says, "Without evil, there could be no good. So it must be good to be evil sometimes."
A counter damage results. You don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about them. Get back in the cloak.
And
back
it
in there, get
crawls
back in
back
there.
into your cloak. But yeah, as you're kind of having this discussion, Smush Stuff looks very confused. He says, I like your funny words, Magic Man.
I appreciate that. Let's get going. We're burning Serenay's daylight. We don't want to do that.
Yes,
Wonderful.
of course, because you're new to Sarenrae. I mean, you're very skilled and achieved in Sarenrae. You
Mhm.
gotta follow Sarenrae.
Right, so, well, I hope things go good for all of yous. Don't stop the world from ending and such. I'll guard the bridge. Make sure everyone in Drum is doing good while you're gone.
Well, I wish you only the best, Majel stuff.
He salutes you, but it's kind of wrong, but he stands real tall doing it. Right. And going down the road on your carriage, it's not very much longer until you start to see familiar trees on either side of the road. Khan, you and Zavid recognize it very quickly, as a matter of fact. And shortly, you do see the bridge that takes you across the road to the city of Plaguestone, Etrin's Folly, where this all began.
Mm-hmm.
You cross over the bridge, and the town looks quaint, quiet, much as it did when you left it. There are all kinds of the businesses here. There's the feed mill bar, there's the steel brazier, Trin's apothecary. You know that this one's abode is in that small patch of forest on the north side of town. You know that Percy Month, the fruit vendor, has the field to the southwest. But you also know that Shadow Valley is just up the road to the northeast. Where would you all like to go now that you're within Plaguestone?
I just want to say, I know it's only been a week since we've been here, but I imagine the Shire music playing. Oh, home sweet home.
It's been a week since you were in Druma. It's been up to potentially 6 weeks since you've been here.
Oh, snap. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
Because there was a month between Ilkana and Coronation. So it's potentially up to, I guess, 5 weeks. Up to 5 weeks. Yeah, still not long, but it's been a hot second since you've been here. Is there anywhere you'd like to go specifically in the town first?
Reese is just here for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, like, we could go to the inn and say hi to our friends there.
Great.
And just like stop by, have a visit, let them know what's been going on with us, and see if they
Any other
like
trees have been catching on fire.
Yeah, see what they know. If anything's happened, what they've heard of Shadow Valley, if anything happened at home.
If the kobolds accidentally burned down our fortress.
Reese just like turns some like, I really need to meet these kobolds, by the way. I that is what I want. Other than that, you guys can go anywhere.
They are very, very sweet.
Yeah.
One of them's even called Sweet Tooth.
Right, Sweet Tooth?
Sugar Wanter.
Sugar Wanter.
Oh, then I will
so
save
sweet
some
they're
rough
called Sugar
candy
Wanter.
for them.
Oh, they'll love it. They're all very loyal, and they've taken quick to their roles. They're very, very good.
Okay. So eventually you do manage to clop the horses in the carriage up to the front of the feed mill. It's very familiar. You've been here before. It's a quaint little place. I assume.
Wait. I say to Khan, don't open yet. Let's have Frag open the door. Hey, Frag! As a joke, they don't know who you are, and you look very fearsome with your like cybernetics. Can you kick open the door and just stand menacingly for a moment? I want to see how they'll react.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
I'm
And
gonna hide behind like the wall.
Much like a saloon door, it's got the inward openings. Frag takes a step up, and I'm gonna say mechanically, he uses his foot to do a gigaton strike because he's over-interpreting what you're asking him to do.
Yes.
So a little bit of look behind the screen. Since he's an android, he has a thing that gives him a minus to all like charisma based checks like diplomacy and all that. So it's actually cooked into his mechanics that he would like misinterpret this kind of thing. So yeah, he's gonna gigaton strike the saloon door and just it blasts across the inn and slams into the fire that's directly across at the end. Flunk, the bard up at the stage, stops playing his lute. Percy is holding a beer and it starts to dribble down her face. What is her name? Amora, the bartender. No, Delma, the bartender. She stops cleaning her glass. Everyone just freezes. This one is eating a mushroom, and it plops onto their plate.
Hey, everybody!
Zuki!
Long time no see.
Oh, God. Oh, hey there, Shug. Oh, you gave us such an awful fright.
I'm so sorry about the door. I didn't know he was gonna kick it that hard. We'll pay for that.
Was that too much? Okay.
You were good. You didn't need to knock it off its hinges, though. Just open it with a little bit of noise. Would have been all right. But don't worry, you didn't know, and I'll go and pay for the door. Like, I don't know how much a door would cost, like a gold or something.
Gold, something like that.
Oh, well, hey, Shug. Well, thanks for paying for the door. I think it shouldn't be no problem to get the sheriff Rolf to get that fixed up. He's got nothing to do these days since y'all cleaned up the town.
You're being very nice about that. I'm so sorry.
Well, it ain't the first time a tussle's taken the door off its hinges in this here place.
Well, I would love a drink and some meat if you would be all right with that.
I realized I was
Sure.
muted.
Oh,
Who
what's
is the one with the accent right now?
The bartender. That is Delma Falst.
Okay.
Yes, the bartender.
Okay.
But she pours you each a beer and runs off into the kitchen and yells, "Hey, Ma! Lux Et Umbra's back! Get the meats ready!" And then comes back and she just goes back about her business.
Let me introduce some of the folks here. Everyone, our two companions here. This is Reese. Reese is how would you introduce yourself, Reese?
How well do you know these people? That depends.
All right. Let me do the inverse here.
Yeah.
Percy is someone we met during the festival. Sold me that wand, actually. Right? Was it Percy?
Percy was the fruit vendor. The one
No, that was the Chilean Reapers, right?
Percy had the Chilean Reapers, the Chilaxian Reapers.
Chilaxian.
She's the one.
Oh yeah, Chile doesn't exist in this world.
Yeah,
What am I talking about?
Chilaxian Reaper peppers, the extraordinarily hot peppers. Yeah.
Hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm Percy Month, fruit vendor, and I sell peppers too.
Oh, okay. So you're the. Got it.
Yes, and then we have this one who is a sort of a hive mind of cool funguses and stuff from the Underdark. Though, to be fair, you've traveled all over the place, so it wouldn't be fair to say that you are of the Underdark when you will take kind of fungus from anywhere, really.
Ah, yes, this one is from here, there, and everywhere.
And she's kind of takes off a little bit of a bandage. Her fingers are fully bandaged, so you can't see them. And she kind of unwraps one of them. And you know that scene at the end of Nightmare Before Christmas when Oogie Boogie falls apart and he's just bugs? It's like that, but it's mushrooms and fungus, but finger-shaped.
Slime molds.
Mushrooms. And then this one is from everywhere. And then wraps it back up.
This one has been very helpful. I'm also going to.
Khan has been able to get some of the supplies because I looked in the lab and there's some weird fungus in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't think I've made any potions or poisons from this one's materials. I don't think, but I did throw around the idea of making a poison that's based on the peppers that Svid loves so much.
So that's this one. What about that one? And Reese points to the blonde.
I'm like, oh, of course. This is, and I imagine he'll interrupt me before I can say anything.
Oh yes, and my name's Flunk, and you know that thing that cartoons do, where like he's not moving, but he slides over next to you on the bar.
Yeah.
He's like, hi there, I'm Flunk. I'm the entertainment around these parts. Yes.
Oh my god, no.
You. And he goes to shake your hand, and it's just the daintiest. Like he gives you like a finger to shake. It's just the daintiest handshake you've ever seen.
Oh, Reese is going to kiss his hand and look into his eyes.
Star sounds! I've found my new muse.
I get it.
You should see me shirtless.
I like suddenly have a revelation, and I'm like, that is why. And I look to Reese. I'm like, remember that book I gave you that Danny gave me?
Yeah.
Bard and the Barbarian. This guy's just like the Bard. He's like the same character.
You know what? I respect it. That we read and then like he kind of gets flustered for 2 seconds and he gets his cool back. Yeah, no, Savid gave me the Barbarian, and one of my partners needed it for rope tying practice to get out of sticky situations, and he practiced on me. So like, if you ever wanna
volume 4, I see.
Oh, you are
Oh my
well
gosh.
versed.
I had a feeling he might know it. I was like, does he know it?
Flunk would know. Of all the NPCs, Flunk would know. But,
Anyway.
Shortly, Amora comes back from the kitchen, an elder human with a large tray full of just suckling pig and ham and roast beast, and puts it down and says,
Oh, here you go, Shug. I know you like your meats. Here you are.
Thank
Triple
you, and welcome
helping.
distraction.
Hell yes. I'm gonna go sit at this one's table,
Okay.
and I'm gonna summon Wisp
Yes.
in order to, because Wisp is familiar with this one, and so just like say hi to this one.
So
And Wisp comes out and says,
Oh, hello.
and this one says,
Oh, this one is pleased to see you have grown.
and she like takes Wisp into their hands, and they're playing, and Wisp is crawling all over this one. And to anyone else, this would be like so creepy and gross and weird, like this spider crawling over this fungus person. But like, all of you know that these two they're really nice. They're wonderful.
This is a very wholesome moment.
It's a very wholesome moment. It's just kind of gross.
So after Reese has been introduced to everyone, he feels a little bit more comfortable. It's like, name's Reese, old friend of Danny's, friend of more than friends of Mythanar. He's beautiful, God. Anyway, they call me the Heartseeker.
Oh, they call me the Bard of Bards. And he makes a weird noise at the end that is like, why did you do that?
Interesting. And Reese kind of like makes note of it. His friends
Mhm.
working. And
Also, I feel out of game. Sorry, I feel a little bit bad. We did not introduce Frag, and I forgot
shit,
because
you're right.
I think
his
we
player's
should-
not here.
yeah.
The player's not
we
here.
should do
Yeah,
that next.
so
And
yeah.
Reese looks over to Frag and it's just like, and that is our newest addition. I've been here a week, but he's been here a few days. They've been here a few days. This is Frag.
What a machine of a man. And Frag just doesn't get what that meant at all. But then, what's her name again? Shit. Delma. Delma does come over and says,
Well, it's nice to meet you, Shug. Any friend of Lux Et Umbra is a friend of mine and is always welcome at the feed bag.
feed bag? Is that what it's called? Feed mill.
The feed mill.
The feed bag. What a terrible name for an inn.
Wow.
The feed bag.
Almost sounds derogatory.
I know it does.
But I'll after introducing him, I'll like invite him to sit at one of our tables. What do you eat, Frag? And get whatever food that he's like preference for. Pay his meal since
Well,
he just joined us. And
what we had back at the compound was mostly just bread and water every day because we have these. And he kind of opens a compartment in his chest, and you see one of those Negatronic capacitors, but like a high tech one. It says, "Most of my energy comes from this."
Out of character, it's a freaking funny thing that you don't watch One Piece. Because my mind is going to Frankie right now. He's a
Oh,
cyborg
yeah.
guy that is powered by cola.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, he'll have like a little stomach thing that opens
Soup.
up, and then like three bottles of cola that go in that like fuel all of his powers and stuff.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
funny.
That's funny.
It's specifically negative energy.
Interesting.
Mhm.
That's technically not an option in the inventor, like in the official options, but it worked too well for everything we were doing. So I hand wave because
Right.
I'm the DM and I can do that if I want.
Exactly.
But Zavid, you recognize it immediately as a negatronic capacitor that powers him. So
Sweet. We'll have to talk more about that later. Let's just get you something that is edible to you for now.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, that would be good. Just so Delma brings him just kind of a loaf of bread and a big tankard of water.
Can we? I mean, I don't know if we'd have to make a check since we know them for recall or for gather information, but I suppose that's what we'd like to do is just sort of get the heartbeat at Folly. Like, what's going
Okay,
on
yeah,
around
that's
here?
not a problem. No need to roll for that, really, because again, like you said, you know these people very well. You met them at level 1, session 1. So
They tell you that, well, there's not been much strange goings on except with them kobolds up at Shadow Valley. They come down every so often to stock up on supplies, and they buy some fruit from Percy. They buy a lot of mushrooms from this one. And this one says, "Oh yes, many mushrooms have been sold to the bold ones. They are my best customers at this point." And Percy says, "Yeah, they can't get enough of the Chilaxian Reapers and Frostberries. I can barely keep up the demand just from them alone."
That is good. Business is booming. Even though it's...
Have there been any strange phenomena as of late? In the town over, we heard about trees that spontaneously caught on fire. Has anything like that happened around here?
Well, I mean, I suppose the McAllister brothers have been kind of squabbling lately. They come in here, they get a couple of drinks in them. One of them starts talking about Saren Ray, the other starts talking about Goz Ray, and they end up throwing fists over it. We have to get Rolf in here to break them up, and it just seems like they've been tussling over their beliefs a little bit more lately.
I produced the pamphlets. We've been hard at work cracking this case. It's all astronomy based. These pamphlets will give you sort of a better idea of what is going on. And didn't we, I just remembered when making the pamphlets, since we were both Saren Ray and Cabreri kind of working together, didn't we Chibify both of them? As in, like, don't worry, we're all on the same side here. Yeah. So like it put Cabreri in that sort of, so there's Saren Ray, yeah. So it's like these Chibified like gods and stuff like that, explaining different things. And I'll say, Demirius wishes he could be here, but he and Danny are doing some. She's Queen of Druma now, so they're doing some very important work.
That's high level stuff, yeah.
Yeah. We are on our own sort of mission, but we needed to come back home for a bit before we could set out on our next journey, I suppose. But these, if you could keep these and pass them off to like the mayor and everybody in the town, maybe even to traveling merchants and caravans, so they can pass them around to just sort of understand. There's a lot of strange things, and people have a lot of questions, and this hopefully will answer some of those.
I mean, your timing's pretty fortuitous. I mean, I know he ain't around no more, but Bort Bargith's caravan's probably coming through town in the next couple of weeks. I think Tamley's in charge of it now.
And really, I think those names only mean something to Khan.
I was there for it.
I think so.
I think that was episode
I came in during the Bargus thing. That was like, right? During that session, we were dealing with that.
Bort died session 1. And you came in the inside the hideout of the guy who was, hold on.
Oh.
Yeah. You came in a couple of sessions later. Bort Bargith died in session 1. I think only Khan was there. You had run away from the circus, trying to make your own path, and you were trying to make some coin by being a bodyguard on a caravan.
Yeah.
And
it's a bang up job I did.
Yeah, and he ended up dying. He was poisoned, and that was how this whole thing started. But Tamley is now in charge.
That's really ironic. That's really ironic.
I'm a poisoner. Yeah.
Revenge.
I can definitely give these pamphlets to Tamley. I mean, knowing what y'all did for her caravan and for her. I mean, you figured out what happened to Bort, took care of Vilry, all that.
I guess I was misremembering. Whoops.
It's been some time, Savid. It's
a while. It's been like 2 real years.
Yeah. This would be helpful for, I think, everyone. But we're not staying for very long. We're just catching our breath, eating, and then we're going to be heading back up to Shadow Valley pretty soon here.
All right. Well, if there's anything we can get for y'all before you leave, just give us a holler.
I think we should all have a beverage. Redeem Hydrate was in chat, so.
Yes.
So in character, Reese is like, we should all have a beverage before we go.
She'll give you more, another ale each, and all of you realize that they just aren't cold ones. It's fine. It's just room temperature ale, and after the Fogton cold ones, it's hard to go back.
Reese suddenly starts having a pang in his chest, missing Gurkha.
Okay.
All right. Up to Shadow Valley then?
Let's do it. The moment of that we've all been
Yeah.
waiting for.
Finally. Okay, so it's not far up the road. You're able to make it there in a few minutes. It's a bit of a hike, but it's not very far. And it leads into the mountains, up and down, this grassy, well-worn road. And eventually you do see it up against the side of the valley. There's a large wooden gate that is closed, thankfully, just as you left it. You're coming in from the western side, and if that's loaded, that what you see is what you see. You see some rock faces on either side, and you see a large wooden gate.
I would like to make a perception check for traps if I
That's a big
could.
map.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception in the tower.
Because I want to test their defenses here.
Okay. You do see that 10 feet in front of you, there is a thin tripwire. You see it glinting in the sun, like 10 feet to your east, to your right.
I kind of kneel down. I put a hand up, kind of look at it, and I look to see what it's connected to.
It's connected to a set of logs that are up on the north side that are held up by straps. So if it's tripped, a bunch of logs will go.
I'm like, very good, very good. Everyone, make sure to step over this tripwire.
Okay.
And then...
So, and with that check, I'm just going to roll it over. You do see that the lock looks different. Looks like it was changed or added onto. You don't get what's different, but with your high perception, you recognize it's different.
I'll be like, looks like they changed the locks on us, Khan.
I'm on it.
Give me crafting in the tower first.
Okay.
You recognize immediately that they have added on a false lock that will, if someone tries to pick it, will like set off another trap. But from here, you're not sure what it is.
So, do you have to bypass the fake lock to get to the real lock?
Yeah, if you tried to pick the real lock as though you didn't know this was there, it would, it would set it off. But understanding that you need to do crafting and not thievery is essentially what's going on here.
Gotcha. So
You need
I
to
guess I'll disarm.
unmechanikize it. Yeah.
I'll disarm the fake lock.
Okay.
Can I
give me
help
crafting.
with this?
Yes. Give me a public crafting Zavid, and if you want, you can give con guidance because I think you said you have it.
Yes.
And you can give yourself guidance if you want to try for your own roll.
Yeah. What I'd like to do to allow me to do this check is have Wisp phase through the wall and get a look at the opposite end of the door to take a look at that lock. Tell us where the actual locking mechanism is, so that we can figure out where that is, where Khan needs to actually work on.
Sure. So Wisp phases through and comes back a moment later and says,
A small box way down below must go through the slats in the gate, not through lock tumblers.
All right, and then here's my crafting check to help with that.
okay, that's enough. So Con take a +1 from the aid and a +1 from guidance, so +2 total. And public crafting, please.
Let's go. Big money. No whammies.
Oh, good lord, that's a critical save. Yeah, no
Holy
problem.
crap.
You recognize that Jimothy made this. You know your handiwork. This is something that you would have taught Jimothy to make. It's a little wonky. It's not as refined as something you would have made, but you're kind of proud. And you know exactly how to take this. You click, bonk, and you take it off, and no problem. You were able to unlock the gates. And as you do, do you open them, or they are now unlocked?
Maybe Wisp should take a look around to see if there's a bunch of ballistas that are aimed at them.
Yeah, Wisp, can you give us a sense of what if there's anyone on guard right now?
Yes.
Phases through the gate, and a moment later comes back.
One kobold in the bushes seems to be gardening. No, nothing else.
Galding, but not galding.
Gardening.
Let's see.
Yes.
Reese, they don't know you yet.
No.
Would you? Are you good at sneaking out of game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would
Baby,
you like
it's
to?
what Reese does.
Can you? I would like to see you sneak up on that kobold.
Oh,
and get them.
he's gonna activate his super sneak, basically.
Absolutely.
I forgot whatever feat that is.
That's mostly for group things, your warden step. That's
Oh,
for if
okay.
you're helping other people sneak. So just roll me a stealth and take a +1 from guidance because Zavid is clearly helping.
Okay, cool.
So put a 1 in your
Um,
modifier and then roll a stealth in the tower.
Will do once when my maps are there
Is
we
that
go.
still not loaded?
No, it did. I
Oh,
just
okay.
made it too big. So I'm doing a little adjust in here and there. Okay, so skills, and you said stealth?
Yep, and then a +1 in the modifier.
Okay, ignore that if any rolls happen.
It did not.
Good. And you said in the tower?
In the tower with a +1, yes.
Okay.
All right, and then roll me an athletics check publicly with a +1. This is to either climb the rocks or climb the gate, whatever.
Mhm.
Climb check. But this one public because you'll know immediately if you fail or not. More than enough. The DC was far lower than that because this is like a level 2 dungeon, so the climb check is pretty low. Yeah, so you're very easily able to get up there. And here, let me open up what you can see from there. Boop. And
Nice. We'll
here.
do a little climby climb.
Yeah. You see like this stuff. You see this little garden area with rows and rows of plants that have large red things on them. There's also several bushes that have big blue berries all over them as well. Let me see, your stealth is that. Okay. Yeah, you are climbing up. Well, just show me, how would Reese get there? What do you do?
So once when Reese would get to the top, he just kind of like casually walk because he knows he's not going to be seen. So he just like walks, goes to that other pillar right about there, climbs down, and just casually stands right next to him. See how long it takes him to notice. And then after like literally nothing, he just like looks at him like, come here often?
Yeah, here's the fun thing. That's not at all what happens. Because his perception is a lot higher than your stealth roll. So, here's what happens. When you, Reese, get up to the top of here, you see this little kobold, his ears twitch, and he immediately turns around and says, "You no take tree!" And he immediately fires a Tanglefoot at you.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's why I needed athletics. Okay.
So that is yes, it's a decrease in your speed and your. Okay, I need you to do a fortitude save. What is it? Spell attack. Oh, it's a spell attack. Okay, so good lord, his spell attack is actually not terrible. It's there we go. What is your AC, Reese?
35.
35.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so he does hit you with it. Manages to hit you, and you are immobilized where you stand. Well, not immobilized, but your speed has been slowed. He hurls this sticky sap at your feet and catches you.
Does this feel reminiscent of anything that the party would know how to do?
No party member you know.
Okay.
I'm gonna signal to Khan, like, do you want to sneak over and get him?
Yes. You know me so well, Zavid.
Give me a stealth of the tower, please, God.
1 sec. Please be a critical fail.
I love failures, so the fact
It's
this
the
happened
same
to
number
Reese
Reese
was so
got.
funny.
Oh,
Oh no, it's slightly more. It's not, but not by much. Khan, you still fail. Where are you climbing at? Like, what? How are you getting in?
I'll climb over the opposite part of the wall.
Okay, so again, as you're climbing up, you think you're being sneaky, And as you do, let me see what's it do. Ah, yes. It's gonna go. No take tree, and it is going to cast electric arc on you.
Oh! Wait, you.
Oh, is it supposed to be a save? Oh, yeah. So, Khan, you critically succeed your save. You're able to, like, somersault roll out of the way of this electric arc that comes zapping at you, and it zaps against the stone. And at this point, I'm going to. Oh wait, did I make him? There we go. He's visible. And then I can make that one invisible. There we go. And he's gonna say, but I'll give him a perception check now.
Yeah. I'm wearing slightly different clothes.
That's true. And he doesn't know Reese.
Yeah.
But he rolled pretty high. He's going to say, wait, what?
Well.
And you
I have
see
to say-
Reese, like, slowly, like, ever so slowly, eventually making his way over.
Yeah, your shoes are all covered in like a sticky sap. It's gross.
I have to say, Brick, I am impressed. We were trying to see if you'd be able to sense us coming, but you are very vigilant.
Your mic is literally cutting everything out because of that
Oh,
how
yeah,
high
right.
the tone
Cut
is.
you
Oh,
out.
okay.
Savid, Khan, you're back. I must tell everyone that you are back.
Stage yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We're not done testing your defenses.
Subterfuge.
You pass. You saw us. You would have raised the alarm and things would be good.
Can I be
Let's
on
pretend.
Sticky?
Oh, yes.
And he reaches into his pack and he pulls out this weird mushroom and kind of rubs it on your shoes, and all of it just.
Thank you, Brick.
Yes.
My name's Reese, and he extends a hand out.
Oh, nice to meet you. Brick.
And I would like to point out for Khan and Zavid, you do notice that Brick is much more coppery in color. He's shiny and got this just sheen of copper to him
Did
that
their
he's never
dragon
had.
cult actually give them power?
Keep pushing.
Before we go out and test the rest of your brethren to see how prepared they are for intruders, you seem very shiny.
Oh, yes, you notice, yes? All of us are more shiny. Yes, look.
And he reaches into his bag and he pulls out this weird mushroom that Zavid, you probably recognize, or no, Khan would recognize as an extremely psychedelic mushroom. And he says,
When I was tending to Durge's Entshard and found a rock that had no business being up there. Look under rock, find these mushrooms, and ate one. It was delicious, so I spore it to replace for Durge. I don't want to eat all his mushrooms, and I share with all of the bold ones. They went inside when it started to rain, but I lay in the rain, and I saw the great dawn dragon in the sky in a bright flash. I woke up the next morning and Sugar Wanter was taking care of me. I had been hit by lightning, but ever since I can.
and he puts out his hands and again does an electric jolt against the rock, and lightning shoots out of his fingers, like a little bit of electricity.
Yeah, the dawn dragon has blessed me with lightning of the copper.
Wow, that's amazing.
This is interesting. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy that you are doing well. And I'm just like, why do these gods do these weird fucking things?
They're bored and find it funny.
Basically, yeah.
All right, you keep doing what you're doing, but let's just pretend you failed the test and you were quote unquote dead, and we'll see how far we can get with your friends here.
Yes.
Good job. And then I'll hide over here and
Okay. And
say,
now that
all
you're
right.
in it, you can tell that these plants are just filled with Chilaxian reapers and frostberries. They've clearly been cultivating.
Yeah, I'll tuck and roll into one of the pepper bushes. And
Okay,
I'll
no
take
problem.
one.
They start to
later.
tickle your nose, and but you're within there. So how are you? Where are you going next? What are you doing?
I guess just looking around to make sure the coast is clear.
Sure, give me a perception check in the tower.
Reception. Papa.
You hear some noises coming from that southwestern cave entrance. It's where you know the kobolds usually sleep.
Mhm.
You hear it's like tink 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 tink. Metal on stone.
I'll sneak over. I'll be mindful of like the windows from the house itself and try to. I'll duck in this bush and try to take a look.
I'll
Great. Give me
follow
a s-
along with, and we can do
Alright.
warden steps together.
Sure.
Ooh.
Or you both give me stealth checks +1 in the tower, because I assume Zavid's giving you guidance because you're actively doing this.
Yep.
Stealth, yes?
Yes.
Stealth, yes.
Reese is just kind of like, after that whole thing, I'm not going alone anymore. Thinking that, not saying it.
Yeah.
Con. Reese, you put +14 in your thing.
Ooh, okay.
I was gonna say that is incorrect.
Yeah, let me just do +1.
But I'll just do the math on my side.
Oh
Don't
right,
worry
you
about
can
it.
do math. I can't.
Yeah,
so it's good.
I'll just. Okay. Okay, and then there's that. Okay. All right. So, describe what you do. I will open up this for you. The only thing you see there is it's like a cloth drape. It's not much of a door, and it opens into what you know used to be the throne of Lord Nar, the orc who lived in this place. But the bold ones, specifically Fork, has kind of changed it into a temple of Sarenrae almost. They've done mosaics on the floor. They've cleaned up the filth. There's a large mural of the Dawn Dragon that they did in here, where it's basically just a mural of Sarenrae with a kobold's head. But yeah, from there you would need to go inside to see what's going on.
Yeah, I'll keep like Dark Souls rolling,
Okay.
until I pass through the curtain.
All right. So you finally see what's going on. You see Fork sitting up on a large statue, and he's chiseling at it. And it's essentially he's been carving out of the very living wall a large dragon out of pure stone. And when you come in, he turns around and he says,
Well, you're a bit louder than I last remember. Welcome home.
I must be
Nat
getting
2
a
and a
bit
nat 1.
lusty.
Nat 2 and a nat 1. Con rolled a nat 2. Reese rolled a nat 1. Sorry.
What? Oh no.
On their stuff. I'll send it to you if you won't
Warden
believe me.
stuff. Yes, please show me. I need to
I'm
see.
gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna
I
prove it to you
do
right
not
now.
believe
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
but this is just ridiculous of the
just
stuffiest
remember-
people.
Just remember, Reese, that +14 should be a +1. So just subtract 14 from your number. But that's a nat 2 and a nat 1.
I
So-
can't.
Sorry about it, but Fork
God.
saw y'all. He knew you were. He heard.
I heard your conversation with Brick outside.
Oh, you heard
Oh,
that?
okay, yeah. You're
It,
right.
it must have been his lightning that gave it away.
Well,
know,
thank
that-
you
that-
for
that
not
clash.
killing me on
Struck against the
sight.
wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you know how these things go. Be a little more mindful of your conversations next time. But welcome home. Good to see you,
Oh.
Con. Who's your friend?
Oh, this is Lise, another traveling companion that we picked up. Oh, it's so
Great.
good to see you. I'll give him a little
Oh,
hug.
wonderful.
Oh, there they are. I was like, is it just
Oh,
me or am
sorry,
I
I-
not seeing
I-
that?
that was
No,
my
they
bad,
snuck
I
over
forgot to say.
together.
And
Ah.
Fork has a gold sheen to all of his scales, and he wears what he calls plate armor. It's all like metal
Oh
cutlery
my
and
god,
cast
shut
iron
the hell up.
pans. And it's his plate armor.
Is
that
he pansexual too?
It may as well be. But he developed his armor after Demirius inspired him with his plate armor, and he just didn't really understand the concept. So, but this is Fork, and he says,
Yes, good to see you, Con. Happy to see you. Where is everybody else?
They're waiting in the bushes outside, for me to successfully sneak up on you.
You want to mess with them?
Always.
Yes.
Okay.
on the count of 3, pretend like you punched me really hard, and I'll jump as hard as I can and make it look like you really hurt me. Okay?
Of
Gotcha,
course.
gotcha.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Punch!
And give me like acrobatics or athletics publicly or something like that.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
absolutely.
Because Khan, you have a lot of experience on the flying trapeze with this kind of stuff, throwing and hurling people. So I'll allow you to use your acrobatics. Okay. Khan, use well, please. There it comes. 2 nat 2s. So it
Let's
is not.
go.
It's not pretty, but the two of you have a high enough multiplier that Fork is able to go. And so with Zavid, what you see is this metal-clad kobold go sailing out of here and slam up against the wall next to you. And I'm gonna make him roll a deception check, and he's technically not good at those. Oh, good. Okay.
You want me to do perception?
No, I
what
don't.
happened?
He slams up against the wall and slides down and goes,
Oh, my body. It is broken. I have been defeated by the intruders.
it's that believable.
Oh, okay. So we just made it camp. Got it.
I believe it about as much as Shane believes it.
So, I see what's happening here. Did Fork see you too? Is that what happened?
Yes, he held the conversation by the gate.
The
You are
walls
very
need to get a little
perceptive.
bit thicker. Get some insulation foam in there.
Yeah. Well,
It'll
no,
help
actually,
during the
it's
winter.
it's actually probably better that there's not, since he was able to hear. That means he's alert.
You
Mhm.
know what? That's yeah.
I say you two have passed your vigilance test here of like being wary of intruders.
Test.
The new
test.
lock, the new traps, enjoying all of that. You did a very good job with those. I think we don't have to continue to test the rest of you since you're the ones on the outside here.
And out of character, I can't tell if I love this because we're making the kobolds feel good, or they're actually doing that good, or we suck. I can't
No.
tell, but I love it.
You guys have had the worst fucking rolls. I haven't fudged a thing. I've been looking right at DCs. Like I've been looking at perception DCs, and they've all been in the 30s, and none of you guys have broken a 30 with your stealths yet. I've been going by the numbers. Y'all have just been fucking up your dice. So
At least it's not a battle day.
yeah, this could have been much worse. These dice rolls could have been far worse.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad to see you back. I'm sure Sugar Wanter and Jimothy will be very excited to see you.
yes.
Oh, I have something for the sugar one, and Reese holds up the bag of rock candy.
Oh,
But yeah, you also
Yes.
do notice that Fork is much more gold than he used to be.
So all of you are getting shiny now.
yes, we have all been blessed by the Dawn Dragon.
And Fork, he does. Let's see. Yeah, he'll raise up his hands with his shields, and he goes and produces a small bit of flame in his hands, and he goes and blows on it, and a small bout of fire shoots out in front of him.
The other kobolds don't like the chilaxian peppers as much as I do. I eat many a day.
And he pulls one out and chomps down on it.
Eventually, they gave me the fire breath. I have been blessed by the Dawn Dragon with the power of the gold.
And with that, Brick says,
Yes, this is why we chose Fork to be leader of the bold ones. He has the fire breath.
Very good. Out of game, I just want to say the design on this dragon statue with Saren Ray's thing as a crest on the head is so good.
Thank you.
That is such a good design there.
I did that myself in GIMP.
I had a feeling. I'm like, I think Lumby just made that. Like that's
I did.
really good.
I made that myself. I really appreciate that. Yeah. It was kind of a last minute addition, but I thought it was cool.
Well, I'm eager to get home, I suppose. Oh, by the way, new members for Lux Et Umbra. We have Reese here. You've already
Hello.
been acquainted. And Frag we met very recently. Frag has not had another place to go to, so we're taking him in and getting him acclimated to the Shadow Valley.
Ah, we take good care of you, Frag. Yes, yes, we will show you a bed. There are many places for sleeps, and Sugar wants a good cook. Yes, yes.
Are there big beds? Question. Fork. I
Main
need it.
tower has large bed. Yes.
Okay, good.
You can take Danny old room.
Okay, good, because like my boyfriend is taller than me.
Okay. Yeah. Main bed.
And I'll even just open up the map for you since you're not going to be testing Sugar Wanter and
No.
Jimothy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're able to come in and you smell a good thing cooking from in the kitchen, and it smells very spicy.
Hello? Anybody home?
Oh, it's David. Yes, you come back. Welcome.
And Sugar Wanter does come out. Let me see. I have a picture of her somewhere.
Nice
There we go.
PNG too.
There she is. Yeah, she's transparent.
Oh.
But she comes out in her frilly pink dress that Danny helped her make. But Zavid, you notice right away that the once blue kobold is icy silver. She used to be a dull blue.
So, you got ice powers, I think?
Oh, you noticed my sheen. Yes, I have taken a liking to the frost berries, whereas Fork has been eating all of the reapers. But yes, look.
And she walks over to you and holds up a fruit, like a pomegranate, and just kind of touches it, and it frosts over from the top to the bottom.
Oh my god. We can make cold ones.
What do you mean, cold ones?
Oh, we have something
we
to
have
teach
something.
you. Do we have ale here? Have you stocked up on...
Of course, Bubbles makes ale.
And Bubbles, who you might not even remember, the homunculus
homunculus.
floats out.
Yeah.
Is that a blobfish?
Kind of. May as well be. Here, I'll show you Bubbles. This is going way back.
Who was
Bubbles.
Bubbles' original
Eddie.
owner again?
Oh, the original owner was Vilry, the original boss of this temple.
Yeah,
This is
that's
Bubbles,
right.
the
That is a
alchemical homunculus.
blobfish dragon.
Yeah, it's basically a blobfish dragon that helps with cooking and alchemical stuff. He basically is good for stirring. That's all he's good for.
He's good for being my friend.
He's
How
French.
dare you?
Also, Reese takes the pouch of the rock candy. Hey, name's Reese. I think you might like this. And tosses out for her.
Oh, rock candy? I haven't had these in years.
And she throws one in her mouth and crunches down on it and starts crunching it. And the rest of you, it seems like, why would you do that? But she seems to be nomming on it with no problem, having a grand old time.
So, place an ale on the table and let us show you something magical.
Oh, okay.
And she gets a one ready in a glass.
Now, what you just did to that fruit, I want you to do to this ale, and then I want you to take a drink of it right afterwards. Don't wait.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say out of character, what she used a moment ago was Chill Touch. She does have Ray of Frost, which is the actual spell that...
Oh,
the-
chill touch. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Chill touch is, I think, also, isn't that like
Oh, is it
negative?
necromancy? Oh,
That's
you're right.
necromancy,
Then let's just say,
technically.
yeah, that she shot it like this. She didn't hold it in her hand. She
She
pointed
went,
at it, and yeah, she pointed at it, and you recognized it as Ray of Frost. Okay. So
yeah.
she'll do the same thing.
I'll give her guidance and like just I try to get her to do it the same way that they do it at Fogton, like where they kind of do it like
Yeah.
horizontally, you know, to just hit the side of the glass
Yeah.
or the top of the glass. That's right.
And so it just brushes through like the head, the foam of the beer, and immediately you have, and I have it again. I just love all my art. Why not use it?
Yeah.
Or is it, oh, is it Frosty? Whatever, doesn't matter. There it is. Yes, I found it. Frosty Fogton Ale. So the glass becomes covered in rime frost, and she goes, "Oh my!" And she picks it up and takes a drink, and her eyes go as wide as saucers. And she breathes out, and a cloud of steam rolls out. She's,
I've never had a cold beer ale before.
and she just chugs the rest of it.
You will never want to have an ale any different way ever again, and I
There's a
recommend...
chant that you have to do, though. You know, when you're with a group of friends, when they know that's gonna happen, everyone says cold ones, cold ones. It's
Cold
part of
ones. And as you're saying that, she starts to chant it, and within 2 seconds, Fork bursts in from the north and Brick bursts in from the west, going, cold ones, cold ones. They don't know what they're saying, but they know that Zavid and Khan know that these 4 kobolds they chant a lot.
amazing.
It's part of the weird culty thing. Like they do this a lot. So as soon as she starts going cold ones, the other 2 burst in cold ones, and they start dancing around you all in a circle.
I noticed one of you's missing. Are they in the basement?
Jimothy! Where's Jimothy?
Oh, Timothy is always in the lab downstairs, yes. Never comes out to say good morning to the sun. Prefers the deep underground.
Interesting.
I'll go check up on him.
Yeah.
Great. I have a map. Is it just Con, or is anyone else going?
I'm gonna go in my room first. So I think
I'm gonna
unless
go with
what it-
Khan.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go for Con. Oh, I need that one first.
Reese
Make
needs
it-
their accountability buddy.
Pretty much, right? So then
Don't kill me,
Con
please.
and Reese. Okay. So you go up the stairs past a couple of the main places, and Con, you recognize your laboratory. You see it down below you, and you notice immediately that there are far more alchemical implements, tables, ingredients, tools in this place than normally.
Wow.
Ooh,
Is
Timothy-
holy crap!
Not
Timothy.
normal?
I mean, this is quite a bit different from when I last saw it.
Oh, hello.
And Jimothy comes over and
You're back. Yes, welcome back. I've made
Yes,
a few
it's a-
alterations. I hope it's okay.
Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, are you? Is he green now?
yes,
Yeah.
Jimothy is stark green from head to toe,
Uh.
not even shiny. Whereas the other 3 kobolds are shiny metallic dragons, this is a dull green that
Yeah,
Jimothy
you're,
has taken on.
You're looking a bit clean in the gills, as they say.
Oh, stop.
And she says,
Yeah, the other 3 kind of like going out into the sun, but I think the Dawn Dragon's warmth is more than just the sun and the outside. It penetrates deep down, and
Jimothy kind of slithers over to this little down like pit area, and comes up with a mushroom and says,
even in the depths, her warmth penetrates, and life can grow.
and Jimothy holds up this little weird green mushroom, and then he kind of just munches on it. And give me a crafting.
Different from the psychedelic mushroom, I'm guessing.
Yes, very different. It's a much different mushroom. It's very bright green.
Mhm.
Give me a crafting in the tower to see what it is.
Aye, aye.
At this point, I'm not gonna make Reese do that because he doesn't know. He wouldn't. Even though
You recognize that as a very poisonous mushroom.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Jimothy just chomped down a mushroom that would absolutely kill you if you ate it.
That's a good snack for you, I'm guessing.
Ah, the treats of the underground are better than the berries of the surface.
we'll take your word
And-
for it.
Yeah.
And after Jimothy finishes eating the mushroom, he says,
Anyway, yes, I've made many improvements and alterations to the lab. I hope you don't mind.
and as he's saying this, he's sort of drooling a little bit out the side of his mouth, and as they hit the ground, you see them kind of go pss, pss, on the stone below as his spittle hits the ground.
Khan is like trying to ignore it. The alterations to the lab, they look excellent. We've got all these, bottles. Was the moose head here before? I don't remember.
Oh, yes, that was here long ago. You put that up when Noala. Oh, Noala, she will probably be around soon. She checks up on us every day or 3.
Really?
Oh, yes, she will be around. But if I remember, she told me that was from your first hunt together.
I remember Mel. I remember. And Con gets kind of like she has like flashes back to
Flashback.
It. It's all
of
starry.
Misty-eyed, yeah.
Your first hunt with Noala out in the forests. And then Jimothy says,
Oh, yes, yes. Well, look what Brick and I have done. Come.
and kind of brings you over to this area far to the east that you again get flashbacks of fighting Vilry and the behemoth and being thrown into that river and being rescued, and your first kiss with Noala was in this room after having killed that thing, covered in both of you covered in blood. All of that comes flooding back to your memory, but it looks different. It's much more peaceful in here. There's mushrooms everywhere. And Jimothy says,
Brick and I have spoiled mushrooms, many different types. Zavid told us to watch over his ether caps, and we have done, see?
Wow. Oh, this is incredibly impressive. And I thought the garden outside was pretty. Well, this is wow.
Yeah, there are mushrooms of all kinds in here. Bioluminescent, poison, acidic, food mushrooms. There's ether caps, that more than I even have on here. That's just kind of representative. But this place is filled with mushrooms.
Well, we thank you. We work hard for it. They are good for eat. They are good for alchemy. They are good for defense. Yes, mushrooms are life.
And picks one and starts just munching it and just grabbing random ones, putting them in their bags.
Does this one visit often?
Oh, yes, this one here all the time. This one is the one who show us how to take care of ether caps, yes. Must use this special water can that Zavid make.
And Jimothy pulls up this watering can that's made of like aluminum, but it kind of phases in and out of sight. It becomes kind of transparent and then visible and then opaque again.
But I hate to interrupt, but actually the others are up there. They're chilling ale. They're also chanting, so we thought that you might want to join in.
Chant! Yes.
And Jimothy will immediately start running back and I'll drop everybody back here. Actually, Zavid, you said you wanted to go to your room?
Yes.
Okay. So what are you doing in your room?
Well, first I want to check on Elkana's brain.
It is sitting in a jar. Elkana, there it is. Yes, you see her head is still sitting in that jar. It is casting gentle repose on her constantly, so it is as though her brain is like 5 minutes detached from the body, if that.
Brilliant. So, I want to go. There's a secret tunnel I've been excavating for a long time that leads to like an alcove. Through like I was my goal was to make a secret exit out of to the other side of the mountain. Excuse me. I don't think I reached that far yet, but I think the tunnel has like this room, like a small. I think I've finally gotten to a point where there's like a small room.
You had gotten to the point where there's a small room, but here's the thing: when you fought Elkana, you also unbound one of her blood ghouls and took it with you, and you told to keep excavating in your absence. So, when you go into your little room, you see that the tunnel is finished. It connects to the river that was showing in the mushroom room just a moment ago, where Khan was.
Oh.
That body of water there connects to that rushing river, so it's a way to escape Shadow Valley if need be. And your blood ghoul is over there in the corner, still kind of...
Oh wow. I did not expect that. So I walk over and I see like this area. What's in this room?
Mostly just supplies like picks, shovels, and anything you would have brought down here beforehand, because this little room here was here. It's the southern tunnel that connects to the water that is new to you.
I see. So I'll go down this tunnel and take a look at here. What's in this little corner?
This would be like kind of Aryan, for lack of a better word, because this blood ghoul needs to eat. So it's kind of just whatever weird animal it was able to find out in the forest.
Good. All right. And then I approach.
And it eventually stops and looks at you and it greets you.
Good job. I am very impressed with your work.
Did the blood ghoul have a name?
I don't think you named it, no.
No. Is it intelligent? It is a ghoul, but...
Not really. I don't think it can talk, but it can understand you.
Okay, so it's like it's a pawn.
Mhm.
I will... I have a new feat that's I haven't used yet because it's not like sort of a passive thing. It's called Necromancer's Visage. Necromantic energy demonstrates your power over undead, creating a demeanor that commands their fear and respect. Undead creatures can immediately sense your Necromancer's Visage and tend to act accordingly. If you take a hostile action against an undead creature, obviously that goes away. You can spend 10 minutes to restore your Visage, though any creature that became permanently immune to it remains so. Each time an undead creature 2 or more levels lower than you attacks you, it must. So basically, that's if it turns against me. I would like to use this in a flavor way to try to communicate with the ghoul, like to understand what its next intention is, based on the orders I gave it. Like, what is next?
So you're trying to ask it what its next plan is?
Yeah, I want to communicate and try to get an understanding. I do speak Necro, the language of the dead, so I'll try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you do this, and I have a picture here, a better one, this blue-skinned, human-looking undead creature with long fingers and blood on its fingers and feet. Once you try to convey it to it, it kind of walks over here, gets into this little boat, and kind of paddles out with its hand a little bit of a way into the water. The boat is not movable, but I'm going to just move the character to about here.
I cast Water Walk on us both.
Nice. And so it kind of points down river a little bit, and you can see that the tunnel, it goes down to really thin, where the water is kind of constricted, and it just kind of points to that area.
I see. So this isn't like the tunnel hasn't reached the broader river yet, or is it like underwater and they're trying to excavate the top side so you can like go out?
It hasn't really reached. Well, it has connected. It's just it kind of pinholes. You're gonna just need to widen the paths to get.
Okay.
Just needs to widen the mouth.
I
I
will.
accidentally closed down the map. Is that fine?
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Or I can just reshare it.
Yep.
There you go.
I could see you left a little 5-foot marker
Yeah, I
on the
didn't
map
mean
that
to.
you
I was
closed out.
trying. I was trying to close out of that, but closed the window.
No problem.
No worries. Is there a way? Do I know of a way to increase the intelligence of a permanent undead, something like a ghoul, to the level of like another? Because Len ghouls are very intelligent. Is there a way that I can make this ghoul like that?
Maybe. Roll me a religion check in the tower.
Oh, that may be. Can I cast guidance on myself?
Sure.
One of the best cantrips.
That's
I know,
amazing.
really.
You're thinking back. You were just looking at Ilkana, and you were remembering the weird magic she used to do. You know, you do necromancy. She did necromancy. But she did weird necromancy, corrupt necromancy, fiendish necromancy. She would try to raise demons and then put demonic influence inside undead. That's what this blood demon, this blood ghoul is. It's a, it's a blood demon put inside, or blood demon powers put inside of a ghoul. And you're thinking about this mixing of weird magics, and you start thinking about Dirge and the primal magic he used to do. And you remember a spell. You remember your friend Rupert Mound Upon Hill.
Awaken?
The awakened gopher. You start to think perhaps you could twist Awaken if you could learn it. Or
Is that
perhaps-
only a primal spell? Is that
I
on
think so.
another
Let's
spell
find out.
list?
Let's find out.
Because if that's an occult spell, I feel like I might actually be able to reverse engineer it myself. But if it's not on occult or divine list, then if it's divine, I could just use it there. But yeah, that could be difficult.
Awaken animal. Awaken object. They are both 6th level rituals. Awaken animal and awaken object.
The rituals, you say?
Uh-huh. I would say you could corrupt either of them. Because that's cool, and I want to let it happen.
I am going to give it reinforce its command, but give it an endpoint. Widen this until the boat can comfortably fit through. After, rest in some grave dirt somewhere like up here, like rest essentially, become dormant for a while.
Yes.
And then I am going to then set upon that as one of the many things I'd like to work on, but actually I think I'd like it to be dormant right here by its food supply.
Sure.
I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
And I would like to, after they're done and they come upstairs, I'd like to show them the area, along with Frag too. I want Frag to see this.
We can have pretty much everyone up here, there. All right, there you go.
Oh, I closed out because I thought we were... Wait, are we going back to which map?
There you go. That one I just reopened. The
Okay.
Shadow Valley level 1. One of the peppers in the... Yeah,
Good,
one
good.
where everyone is.
Reese, Gon, Frag. Oh, there you are, Frag. I see you at the door.
Yeah.
I would like you all to follow me if you don't mind. And I open the door and you see my room. It's very dark and dingy. But then I imagine at this point I probably have put a system in place to like lift the bed up to more easily access the tunnel. I've closed the door behind like you guys, and then I show you the tunnel. I say, right this way.
Okay. Then let me pop y'all down here. Con, Frag, Reese, and Zavid. Share. There we go.
So, this tunnel has been excavated slowly through time thanks to the efforts of an unbound blood ghoul that I took from Ilkena.
Oh, I remember.
Yes, I excavated up to this point here in this room. Right now, I'm just holding some supplies for mining and things, but that tunnel down there reaches a body of water that connects to the river. It can be used as an escape.
Do you want
The ghoul is...
set off to Osirian from there?
Well, we could probably hit the ocean, but it's... how we get to Osirian, I think we might have to discuss in more detail. We have a few options, but the reason why I brought you all down here... Demiris does not know about this place. I don't think Danny knows either.
Technically, no one did until just now. Only you and the ghoul.
I've been doing this because I've been very scared of, if I ever have to run away, to have an escape. However, I've built a bond with those of Lux Et Umbra, and I want you all to know of this escape. Secondly, I want help doing something, and then I reveal Ilkena's head for the first time to Reese and Frag.
Oh, what the... What is
So-
that?
I might have mentioned that I had a head before, and I told you it might be a bit morally weird.
You... Okay. I think it would be like this.
This is the head of Ilkena, the White Mother. A very bad necromancer that we had to fight, who worshipped the demon Shalks. What I would like to do is build a device, a brain case for this that can magically access the Ilkena's soul, her personality, who she is. She'd be powerless. She would just be a brain in a jar, but I can remove the brain and I can use magic to preserve it, but I need help crafting the jar itself. I know of the ritual to do so. I cannot do it alone. Frag and Khan, the actual materials and building it would be very helpful. Reese, what was it that you offered last time?
I could help craft, and I can help with I could help them craft as kind of like a bonus, because
I'll
I
also
have my
give you another
training.
option that you might not know that you could do, Reese. Shane, you know that, excuse me, rituals, you need secondary casters and everything to do like knowledge checks and shit.
Yeah.
Reese's ability can be changed on a long rest.
Yeah.
So whatever you need as a secondary, Reese could become trained in.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Reese
So like you
Okay.
need someone who
will-
knows religion, get religion. You need someone who knows occultism, have him get occultism.
Reese
Awesome.
will vaguely tell him that give me a night to read and I'll be able to know things. But the only trade-off is I can only know extra things one at a time or else my brain will like combust essentially and it will be too much information. So if you need, like right now I'm really crafty. But if you needed some religion, extra religion, or some extra, like, I don't know, performance or something, that's how I've been able to change things up. I've been able to read about them, but when I know it, it's gone afterwards unless I come back to it again.
All right, that is actually very useful. The type of magic that I have sort of been able to access is very difficult magic to utilize. I ask for all of your help on this because, as much as I love the bold ones, I don't trust them to take care of this place simply on their own. I think that even though they have the right mindset, they're very vigilant, they're not very strong. I have a mindless ghoul down there that I'm going to research a way to also give a sort of intelligence to, but a guardian for Shadow Valley would be very useful, and we have the head of one of the most powerful necromancers and casters that has ever lived. I would like to build a golem with her mind inside that is loyal to us. This golem would then be a perfect guardian for this place. Very, very hard to overcome even by our enemies' standards. And with the support of the bold ones and hopefully the blood ghoul, once I get her some semblance of intelligence, we could have a very self-sustaining base here. Additionally, we could learn more from Ilkana's mind if she cooperated with us. It's a 3-step process. Right now, I've been using Speak with Dead, but Ilkana didn't like us, so she doesn't like to answer my questions. Or at least her animating spirit doesn't. If I put it into this ritual that I need help with, this jar, we can ask her questions, but she's still not compelled to answer us. Maybe under a zone of truth, like I mentioned earlier, that might work, but she's very willful. It might still be difficult to extract answers. But with a golem and the magic therein, implanting the brain to give it the knowledge and memories of Ilkana, we don't need her soul or spirit anymore. It is its own animating force that with all of the knowledge that she had in life. We could just ask the golem, loyal to us, everything that it knows. And there's nothing Ilkana, the dead witch, could do about it. That is my idea, but I need help. I cannot do this on my own, and time is of the essence. We don't have time for me to try and be secretive about this.
Well, I'm on board.
Good.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
I'm here for it. Just don't tell people I'm royalty, and we are good. You tell people I'm royalty, I'm gonna fuck you up and say that you're doing something evil.
All right. Well, the blackmail's a bit much, but I will not. I will comply and not reveal that detail about your past.
Good.
Frag, I know you just got out of an evil cult, and now I'm asking you perhaps to help with some other morally questionable things. You don't have to do anything you don't feel right doing, but this could be very helpful, at least for us and our efforts.
Well, I know a few things about building machines, so I can probably help out. It seems like everything you're doing is for the good of the world, so I'm in.
All right. And I guess the intention then would be to take a little bit of downtime to study. Khan can have time to study the manual that she found of like all the different stuff the artifacts was doing. I have time to study the medicinal thing, and the ritual itself. And hopefully I can maybe find the awaken ritual, or maybe get into contact with Dirge and see if I could learn the way that the primal casters do it, so that I might be able to figure out a way that I could do it that would work for my needs.
I like it. So next week we'll I think this is probably a good place for us to stop, yeah?
Yeah, it's about 5 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, well, okay, great. So yeah, I think that we'll do a little bit of downtime. I'll be sending each of you some DMs throughout the week to see what it is you're doing during your downtime. And then the most important thing is figure out how you're getting to Osirian. So we will come back to that
good questions.
next time. And we hope you will join us. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.